Shalom, more praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the Lord say Apostle GMS. As you already know, we the Hebrew Israelites come and wake up our people, children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Based upon the scriptures, man. And let y'all know that America is going to be destroyed by way of thermonuclear destruction and the coming Third World War.
It's Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones.
Right, so the Most High took Ezekiel to a valley that was in the midst of it with all bones. And get out Proverbs 17 and 22 on that. So he took Ezekiel and he put him in Proverbs 16 and 10, one by the way of his dead and congregation of dead. Alright, so the Most High took Ezekiel to a valley that was full of dry bones. Go back to Ezekiel.
It's Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 2.
You gotta see what those bones represent.
And caused me to pass by them round about.
So he passed by them round about. Saw them dry bones. And he walked past them dry bones. Go ahead.
And behold, there were very many in the open valley.
So he walked all in the midst of this open valley. Walked past the dry bones. There was many of them.
And lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
Let's stop right there. So the bones are very dry. Now bones are dry. They've been laying there for a long time. There's no blood on the bones. There's no flesh. All of the flesh has decayed. Now let's get Proverbs 17. Let's see what them dry bones represent.
I'm trying to find out.
17:22. I think it's 16:32. That's not what Proverbs is saying. Which scripture on congregation of the dead? One about a way of understanding. Proverbs 16 chapter.
Is it 24 and 16?
You got one about. You get 17:22.
This is Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 22. It says, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones.
See, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. So a merry heart, being joyful, being happy, it's like a medicine, something that cures you, that heals you of your ailments. So that's something that's good to you, to be merry, to have a happy heart. So a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. So can somebody you got one of you understand shall remain in the congregation of the dead? You got 16, 19 or something like that, 19, 16. Alright? But a broken spirit drives the bones. So when you go to Proverbs the 17th chapter, and it says, Ezekiel 37th chapter, and it says those bones are dry, it's talking about spirits that are broken. Just look at them in boom. Right?
It's Ezekiel chapter 37
I think it's 16 and 10.
and verse 3.
It's not been congregation of the dead. Google. It's over right to the scripture. Congregation of the dead Bible.
Ezekiel 37 and 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answer, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest.
Because Ezekiel didn't know. So he said 21:16. Go ahead, read.
Proverbs 21 and 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
So if you wander out of the way of understanding, you're going to remain in the congregation of the dead. So if you saw those bones, obviously those bones represent the bones of the deceased. But it represented the bones of those who were not necessarily dead physically, but who were dead spiritually. People who have wandered, Israelites who have wandered out of the way of understanding. They're in the congregation of the dead, they're spiritually dead. That's why it says a broken spirit drives bones. Because why? They're spiritually dead.
This is Revelation 11 and 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
And that's somewhere here in America. So now as you can see, going back, it says what? It said the dead bodies will be in the great city. Spiritually dead. Why? Because our people, the children of Israel, are lost to the knowledge of themselves. They're going around calling themselves black, African American. Oh, I'm Egyptian. I'm a Pan-African. Well, be more specific. They call themselves African American, West Indian. Well, they'll call themselves Pan African too. They say that too. They call themselves African American, West Indian, Haitian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Central American, South American, so on and so forth. Native American. That's the name that they call themselves because why? The Most High has taken the knowledge of who we were away from us because we had sinned against them. And because we had sinned against the Most High, we were going to be put into captivity among all of the nations. And also, another thing we were going to do was we were going to be lost to the knowledge of our own selves. That's why our people today are always looking for an identity. Every time we turn around, it's a new group of black people coming up with some new name. Think about it. 1 minute, they call themselves, 1 minute we go be Negroes. Then, well, let's just say it in English, black. Then, oh, well, we're African American. Oh, now they're online saying FBA. Every time we turn around, there's always something new. Because they're lost in the knowledge of the oh, I'm West Indian. What the hell is that? What the hell does that even mean? West is a direction.
Right? Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself should discontinue from thy heritage that I give thee. I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which I know is not. We have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
So we was going to do what? Be discontinued from our heritage, and we were going to serve our enemies in a land that we know not. What's the land that we didn't know? America. That's the reason why we were brought over here by way of cargo slave ships during the transatlantic slave trade. That's the reason why that happened. White man is there waking up more. Shit. Let's go get some niggas and put them in slavery. It didn't happen like that. The Most High set that up. Because it was in prophecy. But you gotta understand something. What we go through today is the same thing the Israelites went through thousands of years ago. It's nothing different. See, the problem with Jake is when they read the Bible, they put it up. When Jake read the Bible, they see the white man facing it. That's the problem. Exactly, it's a white man's book. They open the Bible up and they see the white man's face. Anybody that's great gotta be white. Yeah, brother.
Yeah. This is Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge.
So our people are going into captivity because we have no knowledge. That's the reason why we went into captivity. We have transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments of our Heavenly Father. We transgressed those commandments. We brought curses upon us. And one of those curses is that we're going to go into captivity among these nations. We was going to worship gods, wood and stone, meaning what? We was going to worship other so-called other religions, other gods. That's the reason why we're in a predicament here today. 1 minute, I'm a Christian. No, wait, I'm a Baptist. Oh, 7 day Adventist. Oh, Joe. Oh, I'm a Moor. Oh, I'm a Sunni Muslim. Oh, I'm a Coordination Islam. Oh, Scientologist. Oh, I'm Methodist. Oh, I'm Roman Catholicism. I'm a Catholic. Oh, I'm a 5%. Oh, I'm Egyptian. I'm saying? It's always something. It's always something. It's always something. Because why? They're looking for the truth. That's our scripture tell you what the Israelites not obtained that was just seeking for. They seeking for the truth. But the election have obtained it and the rest is blinded. They were blinded, they continue to be not blinded to the knowledge of themselves. But the Most High is a reawakening. The Most High is awakening us to the knowledge of who we are. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
It says, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Yeah. The honorable men are famous because guess what? Nobody, the men that's out here, that's in the position, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're teaching our people that we can be in life. And they dried up with thirst for 36 months. This word is true. Alright? Okay, go back to Ezekiel.
This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people.
Yeah, the children of Israel, they're stiff-necked. They're hard-headed. Right? Stubborn. Rebellious.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
In the land of our captivity, what's the land of our captivity? Our primary land, America. We're going to remember ourselves, meaning what? We're going to be awoken to the true knowledge of who we are, that we are the Israelites. That's all because of the Most High, Yahweh Shah. Right?
and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
That's what we're doing. The Most High set up prophets to teach. You think they had prophets thousands of years ago and now there's no prophets? All those prophets back then, there's no more prophets now. And the Most High said, oh, that's I think that's it. No. But
This is Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answer, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest. Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear ye the word of the Lord.
so we broke down what the dry bones were about. The Israelites who had north knowledge of themselves. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and bring up flesh upon you.
So guess what? You saw these bones that were dry. So now there's sinews being formed upon the flesh. Go ahead.
It says,
That's what that song goes back to. Knee bone connected to the thigh bone connected to the hip bone. And then the song, the whole song, they say Ezekiel connected to dry bones. There's even that on YouTube. You go on YouTube and type in the Delta Rhythm Boys. It's a bunch of Jakes singing that song back like in the 50s. Right? But this is the connecting of those dry bones. Israel, who's lost in the knowledge of themselves, so they're like dead bones. And the Most High has woken up his prophets to teach them. Right?
and cover you with skin, and put breath in you.
So now those bones have sinews, tendons, and flesh, and skin, and breath of life is breathed into them. So now they're living. Or
And ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above.
that's their identity. They started waking up to the knowledge who they really are. Go on.
But there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came in unto them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
So then they start waking up to the knowledge of the true self. And they're still what? In the great Assyrian army. You had that going on now. All over the world, you got Israelites waking up. All over the country. Throughout different countries. You guys,
You said, you ready flesh my flesh, my bone.
oh, get that. Is that same one?
No, that's one. That's second chapter. Genesis chapter. But that's Genesis 29.
Genesis 29 and 14. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him for the space of a month.
So, bone and flesh represent family, kinsmen. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. So when we're talking about the flesh going upon a bone, we're talking about the tribe of Israel being awoken to their true knowledge of their own selves. That's why our people are lost. It's not like, oh, where the Israelites? You can't find them. You see that guy over there? It's like, it's not like you have an Israelite with a milk on it. This kid, I just actually talking about somebody physically being lost. It's not that the children of Israel are lost physically. They're lost spiritually. They're lost to the knowledge of their own selves, meaning who it is they truly are. Can somebody give me Deuteronomy 20th chapter? It's about like worship idols with a stone. You guys have it? Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. My people have been the lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from the mountain to the hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All right, so this is the precept. You can link that up with Matthew 15 and 24. How it says that the children of Israel is the lost sheep. All right, the Lord likens the children of Israel as what? Sheep. Sheep can't defend themselves. They need a shepherd. So who's the shepherd? Yahweh Shai. And through Yahweh Shai, you have the apostles and the elders to guide the sheep.
Deuteronomy 28:64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone.
Yeah, so they're going to serve gods. Yeah. They're going to serve gods that them nor their fathers have known, even with a stone. Now, when it says gods, neither thou or thy fathers have known, because the only God that our fathers have known was the Most High. So he's saying they're going to worship gods other than me. And that's what they do. They worshiping Caesar Borgia. They worshiping a white man. They in all these different so-called religions. All these different so-called philosophies. And you always had that going on among the tribes. On Taino, on Aztec. It's always something about them. They're trying to find their true roots, their history, because the Most High blinded them. But this is the truth. And one of the reasons why they can't get it because it don't seem like it's nothing mystical about it. You know what I'm saying? They can't get it because we didn't go to the Carpathian Mountains somewhere up Tibet and climb a 20,000-foot mountain and then have to dig, 800 feet to grab this book that been locked inside a stone case for the past 1,800 years. With a dead man's grip on it, and we had to pry his fingers off of it. You know what I'm saying? To get the knowledge. Nothing about a mystical. They don't see, they see no mission. It's not really. You don't do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, this can't be it. The truth gotta be something mystical. It gotta be something that's getting 250,000 people per video. It gotta be super big. Like they want the truth to be like something like Black Lives Matter. See how that was all over the world, all over the country? That's how they wanted to. Nah, man. The Most High deal with a small sanctuary. If it was something big like that, then anybody would come into it. The Most High don't want everybody.
Psalms 110:3, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning.
Yeah, so when we get that power, then people gonna be willing. The Most High endow us with that spiritual power. Then people gonna be willing. Guess what? It's gonna be too late. But yeah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 25. It says, then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahweh God of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods and worshipped them. Gods whom they knew not and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land.
And that's what the other nations want to say. Start in verse 24.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 24. Even all nations shall say, wherefore have the Lord done thus unto this land?
Why the Lord did this to these Israelites? Right?
What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahweh God of their fathers.
See? Because they forsook the covenant of the Most High, of our fathers. So the other nations even know that. Yep. So the other nations even know that. They knew that. What it is, the white man has done such damage on your mind when it came to the Bible. And not anything about the Bible, you're like, he saw no the word. It's like, oh, go ahead, what you got?
Deuteronomy 30 and 10. So if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, and keep his commandments and his statutes, which is written in this book of the law, and turn unto the Lord thy power with all thine heart, with all thy soul. For this commandment, which I command you this day, is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that it should have said, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it or do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that should have said, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it.
See, the word is very nigh unto us. It's not the pinky mountains of Antigua. Yeah, read that verse one more time.
Last one.
The whole thing.
All right, Deuteronomy 30 and 10. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, and if thou turn unto the Lord thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, for this is the commandment which I command thee this day. It is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that it should say, who shall go up for us to heaven?
Yeah.
Or bring it unto us that we may hear it and do
Word
it.
not in some unreachable place. Go ahead.
Neither is it beyond the sea that should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and thy heart, that mayest do it. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Isaiah 60, verse 1. Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
Yeah, gross darkness will cover the people. And gross darkness covered the children of Israel. That's what the children of Israel are blind to the knowledge of who it is they are. They're blind to the knowledge of who it is they are. They're blind to the desires of Yahweh Shemal Shah. They don't even regard them. You know? They regard the Most High and the Son. How the church is talking about them. You know?
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Look. Just speak this.
Yeah, because our people, they need to understand why they're going through these hellish living conditions. All right, you're going through these conditions. Why? Because you're under the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it explains our living conditions as an entire nation. Whether we in America, whether we in the United Kingdom, Europe, wherever we've been scattered. Our people are under these curses. Why? Because it says what? For a sign and for a wonder.
Deuteronomy 29, verse 24. Even all nations shall say.
Now all nations shall say, all right? Because we walking around the planet Earth, right? And now everybody's waking up to the fact that what? That we are the biblical Israelites, all right? Them people in the land of Israel, them Zionists, they're Edomites according to end-time prophecy, according to the Bible. We are the seed of the promise. We are the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Wherefore have the Lord done this unto this land?
Yeah, wherefore have the Lord done thus unto this land? How come this land needs so much aid from America? You know, they need millions, billions of dollars every single year from America. Why is that? Because that land is not blessed. It's not that land flowing with milk and honey. Why? Because the true chosen people is not in that land. See, when Yahushua returns back with the elect of the nation of Israel in that land, then that land is going to be blessed. All right, but right now, the true chosen people is not in that land. And them group of Israelites that went over there to demonic Israel, that wasn't smart what they did, following Ben Amin. All right, that wasn't smart. That's not a part of prophecy. The Lord didn't tell us to do that. When you read the scriptures, Yahushua is going to bring us to our land.
Yep, it said, wherefore have the Lord done thus unto this land?
Yeah, why the Lord kicked the Israelites out? You know, how come these people, they're in the conditions that they're in? You know, you listen to the music, you see how people selling drugs, they're in these gangs, you got a lot of divide and conquer. Why is this going on with the Lord's people? Go ahead.
What meaneth the heat of this great anger?
What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Meaning what? Why did the judgment of the Lord come upon his people if they're the Israelites? Go ahead.
Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord power of their fathers.
They broke the old covenant, aka what? The Lord's statutes and commandments. So since we broke the Lord's statutes and commandments, we need a sacrifice to bring us back to the Most High. Who's that sacrifice? Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, beginning with the elect that have faith through predestination, we have been adopted back to the Most High through Yahushua's blood and sacrifice. Go ahead.
which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt.
The Lord only made the covenant with us, all right? The old and the new covenant, the law, statutes, and commandments, which is our culture, our way of life, our heritage, that was only given unto us. The heathens, they was established before the nation of Israel became an entire nation, all right? Before we even got our heritage. The heathen nations, they was established. Go ahead.
Verse 26, for they went and served other gods.
They went and served other gods. That's why we're in the condition that they're in. You see our women twerking, being the biggest whores in the planet Earth. It's not just America, South America, all right, Europe, the United Kingdom, Caribbean islands, Asia, wherever we've been scattered at. Our women are the biggest whores on the planet Earth. Why? Because when you read these curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, these curses follow us for a sign and for a wonder. All right, it's not just America, but America is the focal point of prophecy. Go ahead.
And worship them, gods whom they knew not.
So we was following the way of the heathen, all right, raising up our children to follow the way of the heathen. That's why these curses came upon us. That's why we're in the bottom. That's why we need Yahweh Shai to come back and deliver us. Go ahead.
And whom he had not given unto them.
The Most High never told us to follow the way of the heathen. But that's been our downfall when you read the scriptures, all right? Especially the Old Testament. You know, Israel, they want a king like the heathen nations. The Most High set us up to what? Have priests in all the inheritances of where the tribes was at in the land of Israel. But Israel, they want a king. They want to do things like the heathen. Go ahead.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land.
So the Lord was pissed off at us, all right? The Lord never told us follow the way of the heathen. You know, live your life to be accepting of the heathen. No, when you read Deuteronomy 7 and 6, we're above the heathen. There's no equality. That's why the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. We're the Lord's chosen people. We're the seed of the promise, not the heathen nations. Go ahead.
Yep. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book.
Where the curses is found, all right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, Leviticus chapter 26, that goes into the curses as well. That explains slavery. That explains our living conditions. Divide and conquer amongst the tribes with the different gangs and stuff like that, all right? All of our living conditions, whether it be America or wherever we've been scattered at. Deuteronomy chapter 28 answers all of your questions, all right? And most brothers, when they first come into the truth, when you hear Deuteronomy chapter 28, that does something for your spirit. That answers all of your questions on, damn, how come I had to experience this before coming into the truth? You know, how come my family act like this? How come the different women I've been with in the past, how come they act like that? You know, the different fights you got in, you know, you being brought up as a young man. Deuteronomy chapter 28, it explains and answers all of your questions. Go ahead.
I got a scripture real quick. Bring it out?
Yeah.
Bring it up. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Yeah, that's what the nation of Israel did. They changed their God. They stopped worshiping Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and they was following the way of the heathen. Go ahead.
But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
Because our God is a true and living God. All right, all these prophecies that's in the scriptures, that's living. Whether you believe it or not, the reality is what? You're going to have to live through what's written in this book. All right? So that's what the nation of Israel have done as an entire nation. They have followed the way of the heathen, and that's why you went to slavery. That's why you got an East Indian slave trade, a transatlantic slave trade, a Dutch slave trade, British slave trade, all right? The slave trade to Brazil, South America, the Caribbean islands, all around the world. That's why the elder brother, he was going into what? Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. That's why you're in a state of what? Dry bones, because you was following the way of the heathen. But now, in the end, in these last days, all right, the elect of the nation of Israel is waking up through the blood and sacrifice of Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid.
Yeah, be horribly afraid. Because if the Lord can put his people all the way on the bottom like that, all right, have them as the worst people on the planet Earth, image-wise, how much more, how is he going to treat the heathen in the kingdom of heaven? All right, when these curses come upon them, pursuant to what? Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Go ahead.
Be very desolate, saith the Lord. For my people have committed two evils.
Yeah, they have committed two evils. Go ahead.
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
They have forsaken the fountain of living waters. All right, they turned their back on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They broke the law, statutes, and commandments. There's a consequence for that on the planet Earth. That's why we're going through these living conditions. Go ahead.
And hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on. Because these heathen nations, they can't bless you, all right? They can't speak to you. They can't hear you. You can't pray unto them. They can't deliver you from the hand of the Lord, all right? But our people, they have forsaken Yahweh and Yahweh Shai to follow the way of the heathen and worship their gods, wood and stone.
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Yeah, our people have Stockholm Syndrome, all right? You try to tell our people they're the greatest people on the planet Earth. This gospel and the correct doctrine, that's for you. The blood and sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, that's for you. He died for you, beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel, and they look down upon the prophets. Why? Because the heathen nations, they don't have no part, you know, being a part of the seed of the promise. They're not a part of the chosen people, all right? That's why the Lord is going to destroy 2/3 of his people. Go ahead.
Why is he spoiled?
Yeah, why is he spoiled? All right, in order for you to make it in this world, you have to forsake Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You got to worship the God of this world, which is Satan and his physical counterpart, the so-called white man and sea lion, beginning with Amalek. All right, them Zionists. Go ahead.
They'll say they're the greatest people on earth when it comes to anything else, except when it's tied with the Most High. Yeah. We the greatest basketball players. We the greatest rappers, and singers, and dancers, and blah blah. But when it comes to the Bible, So how stupid they are. So you're the Most High blinded. Actually, that's the Most High blinded them, man. The Most High don't want everybody. Just what it is. You know, when you first came in, it get frustrating. Like, damn, these niggas don't want to get it. But after a while, you're like, fuck it. When you first came in, you turn to tell your family. After a while, you see, this nigga don't get it. It's just what it is, man. My family still remember it, though. Remember my cousin told me when the whole COVID thing was going on. He was scared as hell. He was like, yo, bro, son, yo. All that stuff you were saying years ago, that stuff is coming true, son, yo. Like I told you. He was like, yo, bro, it's crazy. You know, they were all shook up. When COVID first hit, you could hear a mouse piss on cotton outside, man. Nobody was around outside when COVID first dropped. It was like when Givers Without Trying first dropped. Nobody was outside. Everybody was scared. That's what he called me.
Our older brother, you know, he's 2 years older than me. He used to listen to Sabah. He's actually the one that put me on to HOI. Then I got into listening to Greatmillstone through Yahweh Shai, all right, 2014, 2015. And I tried to get him to listen to the LA camp, all right, with Mawatazak, all right, the elder brother out there. And he started scoffing. He said, I don't want to listen to them. Oh, the name of the Lord, that it's not Yahweh, it's Yahweh. You know, then the Most High bucked him out. Now he got dreadlocks, he's bucked out. We don't even talk no more. You know, but before I came into the truth, when I was in the world, I used to look up to him, you know. But now I don't think like that no more, because I'm a new man.
Come. So let's skip down to verse 20. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 20. From old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands, and thou saidest, I will not transgress.
That's what the Lord did for us through many generations, all right? Because we have multiple heathen nations that was ruling over us. They were in different past generations. The Lord broke their bonds. He broke the yoke. But now we back into captivity. Why? Because we back to following the way of the heathen. Go ahead.
When upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot.
Yeah, we was playing the harlot. Matter of fact, you get Jeremiah the 3rd chapter as well. All right, we was playing the harlot. All right, because when you read, matter of fact, get Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 1 real quick. The book of Shah.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 1. O ye children of Benjamin, gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow the trumpet in Tekoa, and set up a sign of fire in the Hecarim, for evil appeareth out of the north, and great destruction. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
So the Lord likens the nation of Israel as a comely and delicate woman, a beautiful woman. Why? Because he gave us the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, he gave us law and order to separate us from the heathen nations. All right, when you look at the heathen nations, they all pretty much worship the same gods. They got the same customs, just with a different name. They worship the creation instead of the creator. But us as the nation of Israel, we worship the true and living God. All right, we're not like the heathen nations. All right, that was it with that. Get Jeremiah 3:1 real quick.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 1.
Because that's why we're in the condition that we're in. Because we played the harlot, following the way of the heathen. All right.
They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Yeah, you're not supposed to return unto her again. If your woman commit adultery unto you, all right, you're not supposed to forgive her. You're not supposed to take her back. All right, but go ahead.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
Now, this is talk about the nation of Israel. All right, we sinned against the Lord. The whole land is polluted. That's why the Lord kicked us out of the land of Israel. Go ahead.
Right? But thou hast played the harlot.
We have played the harlot. We just read Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 2. The Lord likens the nation of Israel as a beautiful woman. Because we marry unto the Lord by what? Covenant and by sacrifice. Go ahead.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
We have played the harlot with many lovers, worshiping the gods of the heathen nations. Go ahead.
Yet return again unto me, saith the Lord.
That's what the Lord is asking right now in these last days. Return unto him through Yahweh's blood and sacrifice. Have faith upon Yahweh. Go ahead. That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Matthew 24 and Matthew 24, and I'll start at 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
So only the Father knows when Yahweh is going to return back physically for us to see, to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, all right, and to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth, and to put the heathen nations into captivity. Go ahead.
But as the days of Noah were,
because you got these different YouTube videos, they'd be like, oh, like a time and date, the Lord is going to come back, this is going to happen on this date. It never happens. Why is that? Because you're not the God of Israel. You're not Yahweh. Only Yahweh knows that. Only he knows when the end is going to be. You know, month, time, and date, and year. Go ahead. Us as believers, we're supposed to have faith and be patient and wait upon Yahweh. Go ahead.
Yep. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man.
Yeah, Noah was prophesying for over 100+ years, and we prophesied too for a long time. All right, we prophesied for a long time. We don't know when the wrath of the Lord is going to come, but we can see the signs happening in the form of what? Current events.
For as in the days of Noah, as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking.
Yeah, they doing that right now. They chilling. It's a Saturday. You know, the weekend, everybody like to have a good time. You know, they may go on like a little vacation. They may do something, right, with the family or the whatever girl they talking to, right? They're not thinking about the Lord. Go ahead. Because they don't think that they're in biblical times. We still in biblical times. Go ahead.
They were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
So just like back then, they were eating and drinking. They wasn't paying attention to Noah. What you said was going to happen, it's going to be a flood. I never seen that before, so that's never going to happen. They saying that right now. But see, the difference is we can actually physically see the nuclear missiles is created, all right? We can see all the current events happening, and we know that what? World War III, we're in the midst of World War III. But we know the end result is what? Nuclear destruction. But before that takes place, the mark of the beast has to be implemented. Go ahead.
Marrying and giving in marriage.
Yep.
Until the day Noah entered into the ark.
Yeah, so once Noah entered into the ark, when you read the scriptures, the Lord is the one that closed the door. Meaning what? The doors of mercy, it was closed. The same thing is going to happen in this lifetime. All right, it's going to be a famine of the word. It's going to be Jacob's trouble. All hell is going to break loose. The Lord is going to withdraw his prophets. All hell is getting ready to break loose. All right, we keep telling y'all that what? It's a life or death situation. If you don't repent, you're going to end up physically being destroyed.
Yep. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
And that's what happened. They didn't want to listen, all right? They didn't want to take heed to Noah. They didn't want to take heed to Noah, all right? And what happened to them? They all drowned. Now the difference is the Lord said what? He's not going to flood the earth. He's not going to destroy the earth with water because he did that with the first death. Now with the second death, he's going to destroy the unbelievers and all these people in America by the way of nuclear destruction. Go ahead.
Yeah, and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Yeah, so they didn't want to listen back then. They don't want to listen now. What's going to happen to them? They're going to be a part of that lake of fire, nuclear destruction. This is not no game.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do as believers, all right? You're supposed to link up the current events with the Bible prophecies to understand the time period you're living in, all right? We're living in the time of the last days. The Edomites are on rulership. A lot of these end-time prophecies are speaking. Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back, all right?
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before,
Yeah, part of the signs is what? Part of these prophecies coming to pass. Go ahead.
then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
So Lord willing, we know we don't got 20 years left, 30 years left, 1,000 years left. That would be crazy. You know how many times we will have to die and come back on the earth and keep on doing what we're doing right now? That's not going to happen. Why? Because we understand by what? The current events going on, prophecy is speaking. End time prophecy is speaking. Go ahead.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world,
Yeah, there's earthquakes every single day in many different countries. All right, even last year you had earthquakes here. All right, we in the time of the end. Uproars of the people. You got the ice raids going on. You got people that actually got citizenship in America and they still being deported. That's uproars of the people protesting against the government. Go ahead.
then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee.
How did the Most High speak of these things? All right, did he come down off his throne and actually speak to us face to face? No, we will all die. He did that through the mouth of the prophets and from previous generations. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Yeah, even from the beginning. All right, so even from the beginning, when you read in the scriptures, Enoch said what? That the Lord will come back with tens of thousands. Go ahead.
For like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end,
All empires came to an end except for what? The kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is the only everlasting kingdom. Go ahead.
and the end is manifest.
The end is manifest. Look at the signs. Look at the current events. Look at what's going on. Look at society. All right, look at the world. Look at the current events. Pay attention to the news. We're in the time of the end. We don't got too much time left. So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, repent. All right, because the doors of mercy is going to close and you're going to catch absolute hell in this society. Your job is not going to be around forever. Your credit score, your nice-ass car, that's not going to be around forever. Go ahead.
Real quick. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 it says,
Yeah, let me bring this out. Romans 13 and 10, 11. And that knowing the time, that is now high time to wake out of sleep.
Yeah, it's time for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to wake out of sleep. All right? Stop being ignorant. You see the prophets out here. You driving past in a car. You know, you sitting waiting for the bus. Come in the choir of the Lord. Ask questions. Go ahead.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Salvation is nearer than when we believe. Why? Because we see the prophecies playing out in what? Current events. We can see these things. All right? The prophets, they desire to see those things which we see now. See, we see it. Go ahead.
Yep. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Yeah, cast off the works of darkness. All right? Stop thinking that you a byword, that you a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian. Stop putting off the day of the Lord. Have faith upon Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Yep. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
Yeah, the armor of light meaning what? To have faith upon Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
There's many talking about the elect. 2/3 is not going to get it. 2/3 is going to be a force that's going to be used as a pawn in the Lord's ultimate game. That ultimate game is what? When we talk about racial tension between these other nations and Israel, that's what their job is going to be laid out, to be examples. All right? It's really talking about the elect. Because that's all the Lord is concerned about. There's a special group of people on the planet Earth. Think about it. All the billions of people, a speck of people, that's all the Lord is caring about. That's it. Everybody else doesn't matter. But 2/3 got their duty. They roused up, you know what I'm saying? They're ready for war, but the elect is the main ones. Okay, that's the main message this whole entire ministry is about. From the beginning, it was all about the royal, technically the government body, the royal house of the nation of Israel. That's what it's all. That's who's supposed to get it first. The rest of them not gonna get it. It's like it says in Isaiah 6 and 9. The only way they're gonna get it by the time the missiles hit. That's when they're gonna get it. All right. So go ahead.
Romans 13:13. Let us walk honestly in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness.
Well, the rioting, drunkenness is what? These philosophies. The day is talking about what? Is it actually talking about? No, it's talking about this time. We know what time it is, man. The time is changing, dramatic. They say what? They're taking away a second. They might take away a second from the clock because time, the Lord is speeding things up. So that's what you said earlier about that 20, 30 bullshit years that these other guys are spewing. That shit ain't gonna matter nothing. When this shit start popping off, yo, don't you notice that we in fucking July? This month is about to be finished because the time is going by fast. So all the Lord is concerned about is really to confirm with the elect of the nation of Israel. Because the electors are obviously, they're sealed. Everybody's got to have to that one conclusion, that one thought in mind, and then we out of here. You know? Not, the Lord's going to just speed things up. Go ahead. Finish it off.
Not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy.
Yeah, so like the elder brothers of Paul was saying, that what? That's going into other philosophies, and ultimately, let's talk about the elect. All right, we understand that what? Salvation is nearer than when we believe, because we have the Holy Spirit to understand what? The current events, everything happening on the earth, why it's happening the way that it's happening. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you read that, if you want to get that, Zechariah 13:8, they don't have the gift of faith. They don't have the Holy Spirit, all right? That's why they walk around blinded. Because why? It goes back to predestination. Because a lot of Israelite camps, they don't really teach about that. They don't teach about that salvation is based upon predestination. They don't teach it. They think that they just out here and that anybody that listens and joins the camp, they automatically a part of the elect. That's not in the Bible.
Matthew 24:14. In this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Yeah, because why? The Lord is waking up the elect of the nation of Israel where they've been scattered. Remember what it says in Matthew the 24th chapter, like the brothers read it. The Lord is going to send his angels to gather together his elect from the four winds, north, south, east, and west. This is why you have different, you have camps all around the planet Earth, all right, mainly of Greatmillstone and the different believers. Go ahead.
Then shall the income.
And then shall our income. That's why it's important to what? Be diligent, do your videos so that the income come. If this gospel is not being spread to maximum capacity, which is going to be spread anyway, all right? But if you're not spreading the gospel to maximum capacity, then the end is never going to come. That's why it's important to what? Be diligent and to prophesy.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
I noticed it said land. It didn't say lands. That's talking about America, Babylon the Great. All right, 2/3 of the population of Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you want to get put to death. All right, go ahead.
But the third shall be left therein.
The third is the remainder. 2/3 going to be put to death. 1/3 is going to be delivered by Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ by the way of the so-called UFOs.
And I will bring the third part through the fire.
The Lord is going to bring us through the trials and tribulations in a literal fire. Go ahead.
And will refine them as silver is refined.
That's why we're going through the trials and tribulations, so that we could be that gold. All right, go ahead.
And will try them as gold is tried.
The Lord is going to try us. All right, get ready for hardship. Get ready to lose things. All right, brothers is catching hell right now, but it's going to get even worse. That's why the Lord got us going through trials and tribulations. Why? Because things is going to get rougher in this society. Things is not always going to be flowing. All right, you're not always going to have a car, credit score, clock into a job. Everybody's lives is getting ready to change soon during Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
And who's going to call upon the Lord? The elect of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh is my power.
Yeah, the Lord's people is the nation of Israel as a whole, but it begins with the elect.
Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved.
The days got to be shortened. Why? Because we'll all be dead. All right? The so-called white man, the Edomites, he's destroying the planet Earth. He's destroying ecosystems. He's destroying people's way of life. He's destroying relationships with westernization, feminism, his democracy, religion. He's making everybody's lives a living hell. All right? First and foremost in America, but all around the world. Everybody's stressed out. Everybody's depressed. You got people that's alcoholics, all right? They on prescription drugs. They're trying to escape their reality that the so-called white man through the Most High made for them. Go ahead. That was it.
Yep. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Yeah, so the days got to be shortened because the so-called white man, he's destroying us. All right, even in our sleep, we're being destroyed day in and day out. Go ahead.
But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened.
Yeah, so for the elect's sake, those days is going to be shortened. All right, we want these days to be shortened. We want Yahweh Shah to come back. We tired of this society. We tired of westernization. We tired of seeing our people in this condition. Our women is the biggest whores on the planet Earth. Not all of them, all right, not the elect lady like the scriptures say, but majority of our women are whores though. Look at them, all right, look at the music. Look at them on a Saturday, Friday. Look at the way how they dress. Look how they raise their daughters. Go ahead.
Yeah, you say that? Yeah. These are one of the biggest holes on the planet, man. And it took hoeing to a new level. You know what I'm saying? They took it to a whole other level. They made it cool to be a hoe, to be a slut. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand something. There's a term called social climate. Social climate is the behaviors and attitudes and ideas that's generally agreed upon by the masses. So in order for you to understand the people, all you gotta do is understand the social climate. When you understand the general idea, attitude, and behavior of a certain people, it helps you understand how they function. I never been to Bangladesh. I never been to Saudi Arabia or Yemen, but I know that they're Muslim countries, so I know how they conduct themselves because I understand the social climate. If you understand the social climate of Motor Jake, everything negative is praised. You ever realize how Jake is the only one that put the rest of the people out there representing? The only one. You think the white men who got no savages among them? Guess what? Them white motherfuckers that live in trailer parks, they ain't putting them on TV. Where's the trailer park reality show? Where's the incest cracker reality show? Why they ain't out there? You think there's none of them out there? Of course they are. But what it is that the white man, type in that word hegemony. Somebody look at that word? Hegemony, H-E-G-E-M-O-N-Y. Hegemony. Esau wants to maintain that position of hegemony. Go ahead, bro.
Hegemony. It says, yeah, leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social group over others.
Leadership or dominance, especially by one country, group, or social group over others. So Esau has to maintain that by all means. He can't talk about how they used to be the ones filling up prisons in the early 1900s. He can't talk about that. Erase that from history. He can't talk about the trailer park white people out there. No, stand above. They can't talk about the illiteracy rates among white people in South Carolina. No, stand above. They can't talk about, the incest babies of people in West Virginia, the Appalachian Mountains. No, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about, the pharmaceutical drug issues going on in suburbia, in middle America, or white suburbia, in other words. They can't talk about that because they got to sweep it under the rug. Esau has to maintain that hegemony, man. He has to maintain that hegemonic rule by all means. He has to. Part of that, much of that is due to his own narcissism. Narcissism is a great belief in your own, his narcissism and his delusions of grandeur, which is a false belief in one's own abilities and importance. Esau has to do that. You got that now?
This is the book of Psalms, the 62 verse 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency.
That's all Esau want to do. Carry Jake down from the excellency. Think about it. When the last time you heard a white boy commit a crime on the news? You don't really hear about that. If you go on YouTube and type in, if you go on YouTube and type in white on white crime, you'll find all kinds of stuff. I saw some channel called, I was looking at white on white crime, and the guy, Jake, was telling a story about how, he was showing the actual stuff. He was like how a dude killed a woman, left her body in the woods, came back and had sex with her dead body. All kinds of crazy stuff that he's tracking people. Esau wants to cast us down from my excellence. If you go on the internet and you look up how white wives are covered and black wives are covered, the white wives are covered as just these alcoholic young men and women, these alcoholic college students. But when Jake do it, all these beasts, savages, these criminals, these thugs, they got certain words. Now we was going into that months ago. Remember months ago we was going into that New York Times article in the early 1900s called the Negro Cocaine Feed? I don't know if y'all remember that. Remember that, bro?
What?
A few months ago we was going to that article called the Negro Cocaine Feed.
Oh, come on.
That was back in the early 1900s. And that's what Esau do. Esau always had these certain types of buzzwords to reference certain people. Esau has to dehumanize you in order for him to justify his mistreatment. If you can criminalize this group and condition the minds of the people that that's what that group is, now no matter what it is that he does to that group, it's justified. Call the natives savages. Call us beasts. Right, I can read it.
They only consult Psalm 62 and 4. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly.
And that's what Esau does. They delight in lies. See, they don't talk about how, now, I don't know if you ever heard of Now, I don't know if y'all heard of family. They got a term called family. You got suicide, you got infanticide, some more genocide. You got something called familicide, which they now call it family annihilation. That's when a person kills their whole family. These crackers commit family annihilation more than anybody else in the country. Type of family annihilation, Caucasian men. Real fast. Family annihilation, Caucasian men.
I got one word for you.
Yeah, bro.
Stereotype.
There you go.
It says a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing.
There you go. A widespread idea of a particular type of person or thing. Now, before you had a stereotype, you had something called an archetype. The archetype is what the stereotype is copied from. So if you go back to the 1800s, you had something called the sapphire. The sapphire was a black woman that had an attitude, she had a tart tongue, and she was emasculated. That was the sapphire. And the purpose of the sapphire was to create the idea that white oppression and dominance couldn't have been that bad if you had black women that acted that way towards you. So they would put it in movies, they would put it in books. And then you had a show called Amos and Anthony. There was a character called Sapphire Stevens, who had a husband named Kingfish Stevens, and she always used to belittle him. And then after that, you wound up having Sanford or something. And you had a character on that show played by LaWanda Page on Esther, and they used to go at it. Then you had Jefferson. You had Florence, whose character was Marla Gibbs. She was the guy of George Jefferson. Then in the 90s, you had Martin. You had Martin and Vashina Arnold's character Pam, who always used to go back and forth. So what you see is that it is continued throughout generations. Now the sapphire is just called the English black woman. You had the Jezebel, which was the hypersexual woman. The reason why they came in with that was because they had to justify raping black women during slavery. So they said, well, these women were Jezebel. In other words, she needed to have sex. She could have functioned. She could have functioned without it. So that way he could justify raping her. That's when you get to the hypersexual images of black women and girls. So now if an 11-year-old girl get raped, oh well, you know this little girl is fast, it's automatically triggering in your mind. You see what I'm saying? I remember watching this show called The Closer. And on the show, you had a white dude that was arrested by a black detective, and a white dude that raped a little black girl. He was like, black girls are so much more developed than white girls. The way they shake their thing. You probably grew up swimming in black ass. That's what you said. That's what white said to the black dude. But they're going to show you the brainwashing they did. You got what I asked for?
Yeah. Family annihilation, also known as familicide, while not exclusive to any specific demographic, is statistically more likely to be perpetuated by white males in their 30s. According to a Wikipedia article of familicide, a study of 30 cases in Ohio found that many of the killings were motivated by parents' desire to prevent their children from suffering.
That's what they claim.
That's what they claim.
I wish you could find. Okay, cool. You got a certain part in it? I go back. See, you can find something that give you a percentage of who commits the most.
Say right here.
Stay. Look through there. Yeah, but who's reading? Some more?
No, I have another one.
Okay.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 64, verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Yeah, who's the secret council of the wicked? All right, so-called Illuminati, these different secret society groups. All right, that the so-called white man came up with to keep the nation of Israel on the bottom.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, the workers of iniquity. All right, you wonder why society's the way how it is, why westernization is spread to the four corners of the earth. It's because of the Edomites. That's their agenda. All right.
Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows.
And that's what they do with their different agendas is to destroy who? The Lord's people. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Right?
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Yeah, bitter words. That's what they do. All right, when they behind closed doors, how can we keep, these blacks, these Hispanics, how can we keep them on the bottom? What type of artists can we sign to spread forth our agendas? How can we keep them on the bottom and separate them from Yahweh and Yahweh Shai? These are things that they actually talk about, word for word. Go ahead.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Yeah, the perfect will be who? The Lord's people. All right, but ultimately they want to get rid of the prophets. They want to destroy the prophets. All right.
They encourage themselves in the evil manner.
They encourage themselves in the evil manner. Go ahead.
They commune us laying snares.
That evil matter that they're encouraging themselves in right now is going into their new world order. And that's what they're planning right now in the shadows, beginning with the wicked and evil from Esau, Edom. They're currently bringing about their new world order in the background. That's what they're encouraging themselves in right now, man. Which they're branding it as the Great Reset and the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And pretty much their goal, they want to enslave the masses of people by way of that chip. It's the mark of the beast.
They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them?
Yes, like the brother Yashalan was beautifully saying, that's talking about what? The New World Order. All right, they have a 2030 agenda that they have all nations they want them to be a part of.
But they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Yeah, they know their true identity according to the Bible. They know that we out here. They can see us on the satellites. All right, they got their different agents, the different spies walking up and down the block. People acting like they blind, women acting like they lost. All right, they know exactly who we are and where we at. They watch our different YouTube channels. They take our channels down. Go ahead.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly shall they be wounded.
Yeah, the Lord is physically going to do that by the nuclear missiles, and he's going to spoil their agenda.
Right? So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Yeah, because they're going to expose themselves. See, they deal with secrecy, but their secret is out in the open. Their New World Order agenda.
Right? And all men shall fear. They shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing.
All men declare the work of the Most High, whether it be the right-hand side or the left-hand side. All right, you can do nothing for the truth, but for the truth. You get Psalm 83. Start at verse 1. Because that's what they deal with. They deal with secrecy. All right? They deal with what? Trying to keep the nation of Israel on the bottom and trying to stop this truth. Why you think you got hirelings? Why you think you got guys under the 501c3 charter? Why you think you got guys in secret societies, but then, publicly they're Israelites? They're detectives. They're wearing purples.
Right? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For though thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Yeah, who's the ones that hate the Lord? All right, first and foremost, the Edomites. Because when you read Hebrews the 12th chapter, they can't get their birthright back. So they mad at the Lord's people. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
That's what they do, all right? All these different summits, all these different meetings, this is what they talk about. They take counsel against the Lord's people. How can we further our New World Order agenda? How can we keep them on the bottom? How can we keep the Lord's people as thugs, tricks, whores? Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
That's what they do. Who's the hidden ones? The Lord's people, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That's what they did. They got their school system, the Board of Ed, which pretty much conditions you for what? The workforce, to make you a slave, keep you in the matrix, all right? Keep you separated from Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And that's what's going on, all right? Our people is not recognized as the Israelites. We're recognized as what? By our words. You're black, you're Hispanic. What does Hispanic mean? A Spanish-speaking territory. Meaning what? They was conquered by the Spaniards. So obviously you're not Hispanic because you was speaking a different language before you was speaking Spanish. You was speaking Hebrew. All right, proof of that is what? The Las Lunas stone. You got the Newark dialogue stones, the Back Creek stones. All right, and these are different stones that they found amongst different Indian tribes, and they got the Paleo Hebrew on it. So before you was speaking Spanish, you was speaking Hebrew, just like the Israelites that's in Africa. All right, you got Israelites in Africa, they were speaking Hebrew, like the Bantu language, these different tribes in Africa. Them languages originate from what? The Paleo Hebrew. All you got to do is just do the research. So that's the similarity. Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent. Who is that? The 17 heathen nations. Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee.
AKA the United Nations. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom, meaning the house of Edom. All right, the so-called white man in Sea Line. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs.
Of Moab.
Chinese.
And the Hagareans.
Arabs. Go ahead.
Gebal.
The Hagareans are them Ishmaelites that's in Egypt. Go ahead.
Gebal and Ammon.
Yep.
And Amalek. The Philistines.
Yep.
With inhabitants of Tyre.
Yeah, the modern day Philistines is who? The so-called Arabs. All right, but go ahead.
Asher also is joined with them, and they have holpen the children of Lot.
Talk about the Assyrians. Go ahead.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera and as to Jabin at the brook of Kissam.
Yeah, when you read in the book of Numbers, book of Joshua, the Lord, he destroyed the Midianites. All right? So the Lord, ultimately, he's going to destroy these heathen nations for what they did to the children of Israel.
Yeah, Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Psalm 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Yeah, that's what these Edomites do. They slandereth thy own mother's son. Because when you read in Genesis, the 25th chapter, Jacob and Esau, they had the same mother, which is who? Rebecca, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so how do they slander us? Through Hollywood, through the music, all right? Even the school system, just society. The brother brought it out perfectly earlier, all right? The stereotypes. Who comes up with the stereotypes? The so-called white man. Oh, he, being a nigga, being a whore, right? Go ahead.
Yep. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence.
Yeah, the Lord is keeping silence. Why? Because Proverbs 16:4, the Lord have created the wicked for the day of evil. So the Edomites, they're playing out their portion in end time prophecy. All right, so everything that they're doing is predestinated, whether it be the left hand or the right hand side. But go ahead.
Thou thought I was altogether one as thyself.
Yeah, the Lord never did away with his people. He's still dealing with his people, but he's dealing with the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? You can't deceive the elect of the nation of Israel, and you can't get us to sell out. Why? Because we serve Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
That's what Esau did, man. It's called projection. Like the elder brother was bringing out, is that Esau points the finger at Jacob to take the heat off of himself. Because when you go into these statistics, the most violent people are white males, specifically middle-aged white males. They're known to kill off their family, like we was bringing out, familicide. They're known for school shootings. And then anytime school shootings happen, if it's a white kid, they never really show his face. Unless he done killed like 50 people. Let it be a Jake. Let a Jake stab a kid in a high school in a park, and he gonna go blow. So that's Esau's way of taking the heat off himself and putting on Jake as a former slave. And really, you should be looked at as the criminal and not us. When we see white people jogging, we should cross the street instead of the other way around.
Exactly. Like brother was going into it on the phone, the National Institute of Justice states that 91% of familicide is committed by white men, man. Meaning they killing their families off more than anybody else. The child molesters are the white men.
Yeah, this is from Tennessean.com. It said an overwhelming number of familicide, which is family suicide, cases are perpetuated by non-Hispanic white men. 91%.
You got suicide, genocide, familicide. So familicide, side like means like to kill. Like infanticide, it's killing an infant. Genocide, to kill up certain humans. So familicide is to kill your family. Listen, how much?
91 non-Hispanic white. It said an overwhelming number of familicide cases are perpetuated by non-Hispanic white men. Yeah, 91%. And it says, and 88% use the gun.
Chris Benoit. Did they kill his family? Did they kill his own? Right? That's in their nature. They wicked as hell. Tim Tebow, he was doing an interview. He was talking about like trials, sex trafficking over there. He was talking about the majority of people committing these sex crimes towards children are white men. They're white men. And they ain't black men. Even some little white kid, he was in a car with his mother. And his mother said to him, what are you doing if you lost? He said, run to a big black man. Because white men commit the majority of child sexual abuse. This is their nature. But you know what you used to go and do? Sweep it under the rug. They want nobody to see. They want to cover up his bull wickedness and bring us out there. So now you got black people kissing white man ass. See, white people, they don't do something like how we do. Very wrong. Don't let them go and say that. No, these crackers do it. They're trying to hide their demonology. Yeah?
Psalms 15 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. So like the brother was going into, man, as soon as the so-called white man is created, there's a perverse spirit.
Yeah.
Man. And you can't change that. Heavenly Father said, how can you make, pretty much how can you make something straight which most have made crooked?
Exactly.
So this is how come the so-called white man leads in these things like child molestation, they often fuck themselves, sex trafficking, you know?
Exactly.
It says they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So Google Gaga is a lie, man.
Yes.
Don't believe shit you say, Esau.
Exactly.
This man's a goddamn devil and a serpent. He's been that way from the very beginning. When you go back into the Garden of Eden, it speaks about a serpent. It's not talking about a snake, right? That's talking about a serpent-like individual.
Exactly.
Which is a so-called white man. Notice we say so-called, or commonly called white, because back then he had pigmentation.
Right.
You see, it wasn't until he got hit with the curse, starting with Cain, of leprosy, and then he came back, he got hit with that same plague, all right? When he came back as Esau, all right?
Right, brother. Right.
It says 70% of the killings involve an intimate partner, and most occur in the home. And it said these.
Most of it occurs in the home. They say black men not in the house with their kids, right? So how are we in the house killing them too? So one minute we abandon our family, but at the same time we killing our family? That don't make no sense. But maybe the black man's only like to be two places at one time. Yeah, bro.
And it says these patterns are repetitive. That's what we're looking for.
See, these are repetitive patterns. So it's in Esau's nature, man. It's in their nature. They're just fucking weirdos. It's just in them. It's in Esau's spirit. They were doing this thousands of years ago in ancient Greece. It was called pederasty. That means child lover. If you look at the abuse, they say pederasty was considered an educated act. Pederasty was considered an educated act. Back in ancient Greece, man. This is Esau's nature, bro. You got some? They're so-called freaks by nature. Yeah.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yeah, Esau's soul is not upright, right? Esau's soul in him is not upright. Esau wants to make this LGBT stuff become something acceptable because Esau is tired of living in the closet. Esau wants his innermost desires to be out there on Front Street for all to accept because he's tired of being in the closet with it. Trust me, if that day come when they let grown men marry underage boys, he's still gonna be first in line. They're gonna be first in line. He's still gonna do that anyway. Look up the Azimuth Trust. AZIMUTH Trust. Azimuth Trust. These men are fucking faggots. These faggots is faggots. As the years go on, yeah, bro, noticing you're starting to see more black faggots, man. You're starting to see more black homos. Walking through the hood. Straight up fucking homo niggas walking through the hood.
Blonde wig on.
Huh?
Blonde wig on.
With a blonde wig on. And you can't say nothing to him.
Oh, hell no.
Fuck out of here. You see, you walk past one of the motherfuckers, don't even look them in the eye, man. You know you walk around out and about, you look at people, the rest of people do. You on the bus, on the train, you driving, you look around, you walking. Don't even look them in the eye, man. If you look them in the eye, they might think you into them. And you might be forced to knock a nigga out. I'm gonna kill him, he's keeping it real. If you out there in the street, some faggot nigga, come on, what you gonna do? Get on your knees, face the east, and pray to the Most High? I'm not doing that. You gonna pray to the Most High? You gonna pray to the Most High in your mind that you don't kill this motherfucker? You gonna pray to the Most High? Y'all gonna give me the strength. This dude won't say nothing to me. Man. Give me the strength to not kill this dude. You're a man, real talk. Because you're not gonna just stop getting these face east and pray to the Most High. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna pray in your head, of course, obviously. But if that motherfucker say something to you, you might have to real talk. Just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, they got some homo. They got a hormonal imbalance. Because if I'm not, cause I don't go out to eat. If I go out somewhere eating and a faggot nigga come up to me, y'all might not see me at camp on Saturday. You know that. You know right now. Y'all might not see me at camp on Saturday. Just keeping it real. Go ahead, bro. Let's go get it. You got what I asked for?
That's a good trust.
I don't play that type of shit, man.
I'll show this to you. It's like 7.
Azimuth, that's it right there. Type in little board after. Type in board, bro. Don't type in little board because you don't got to do a search. Alright, go ahead, read that.
All right, so the Azimuth Trust was a charity funded by Dr. Morris Fraser, also known as Roderick Fraser, a psychiatrist and convicted pedophile. The charity was presented as providing sailing holidays for young boys.
Oh, see, that's this is going to be for a sailing holiday for young boys. Go ahead.
Yep. The charity was presented by providing selling holidays for young boys, but it was a front for a pedophile ring. Fraser was involved in child abuse networks both in the UK and overseas. He was also a member of the Pedophile Information Exchange, PI. He was charged in New York as part of an organized abuse network and convicted of offenses related to child sexual abuse in multiple countries. In 1995, Fraser received a conditional discharge in connection with the Azimuth Trust for allowing indecent photographs to be taken of a boy and his kid.
These tags is about, man. I'm telling you, yo. You had another UK pedophile, some white dude who owned the type of UK TV host pedophile. He pop up. Real talk. This is the white man. Yeah, brother.
I'm sure, I don't know if you've heard this, but you heard of MANBLA?
Oh, hey, the North American Man Boy Love Association.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Since the North American Man Boy Love Association, NAMBLA, stylized NAMBLA, is a pedophile and pederasty advocacy organization in the United States. It works to abolish age of consent laws, criminalizing adult sexual involvement with minors, and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual contacts with minors that did not involve what is considered coercion.
Yeah. So in the UK, so that's what Esau want to do. Esau wants this to come to fruition. See, Esau is the one who runs the world, so Esau is tired of living in the clouds. If you notice, what's going on is that it's a war on. Sorry about that. You notice it's a war on the heterosexual image of the so-called black man. Now, for example, they say, "Oh, look, R. Kelly." Now, R. Kelly didn't rape nobody, according to what he's locked up for. He's locked up for sex trafficking. That's what they say. But guess what? They say he's locked up for so-called sex trafficking, right? What they want to do is, which I don't believe he raped anybody or actually sex trafficking anybody. Like, we think it's sex trafficking. We think somebody being taken from one place to the next against their will to observe sex. That was primitive sex. But if you notice, they're trying to make the action of a man taking a woman from one place to another like a sexual crime. Esau don't want men having sex with women, man. All right? He wants men dealing with men. That's how the devil is. They want men dealing with men. That's what they want. Now the way it is now, a dude see a woman, he don't even want to say nothing to her because this is wicked. You know what I'm saying? Esau want men to deal with men, brother. I'm telling you that. Okay?
This is Book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse
So we had this UK TV host named Jimmy Savile, like back in the 70s. They saying this dude had like pedophile rings and shit going on, man. Dealing with underage kids, man. And I think he's dead now.
He's dead now.
He's dead now, but he was doing this back in the 60s and 70s. Even got little inappropriate moments you look at on YouTube and all of that. Real talk. That's the white man MO, brother. That's the white man nature, the fucking pedophile. Esau want men to be dealing with men. That's why he's I go to jail, I gotta take showers together. These crackers, the water probably got a camera in there jerking off. I wouldn't be surprised, fucking faggot. You know what I'm saying? That's the Esau want, brother.
Yeah, it's this people.com, hiding in plain sight, all about Jimmy Savile, disgraced royal confidant, featured
He was cool with the royal family.
Confidant featured in Netflix doc. Following his death, nearly 500 people accused former BBC presenter Jimmy Savile of sexual abuse. It said Prince Charles was close to him and sought his public relations advice. Princess Diana was just a phone call away, and former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher entertained him at her country home. Thatcher entertained him at her country home and pushed for him to be knighted.
See? They wanted him to be knighted. So you see what it is? This thing goes all the way to the top. You gotta understand, this is Esau's nature. And Esau is tired of living in the... Esau wants his... Esau's kingdom. In the scripture, as a ruler of the people, so as a ruler of the king is... This is Sirach, and it's also going to be in Proverbs too, but this is Sirach 10.
yes, it's right there.
As a ruler of the people, like in the beginning.
Like Sirach 10 and 4.
Yeah, verse 2.
This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
As the judge of the people is himself. So are his officers. So as the ruler of the kingdom is, so are those that are under him. Because you are under his rulership. You are under his order. They got something called the artificial womb.
Yeah.
You know what the artificial womb is?
Yes.
They want to have a way for
I only know about the one economically. You're talking about the other
I'm
one?
talking about actually type of artificial womb. Type of artificial womb. WOMB. Artificial womb.
What's that? So the AI overview, it says an artificial womb, also known as ectogestation or artificial uterus, is a device designed to support fetal development outside the mother's body. These devices aim to mimic the natural environment of the womb. These devices aim to mimic the natural environment of the womb, providing oxygen, nutrients, and waste removal for the growing fetus. While still largely in the research and development phase, artificial womb technology
holds promise for improving outcomes for extremely premature infants.
Now, keep that word there. Artificial womb. Type in, it's like a Psalm 94:20. Type in the thing you upon that bed, that might be two. Type in, Shulamith. Keep that word there. Artificial womb. Keep the word there.
You want a artificial womb shooting with fire stone.
That's Psalm 94.
Huh?
Psalm 94 and 20 says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Which the throne of iniquity represents Esau, Edom, the wicked of the Bible. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
And we know throne represents rulership. So the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, with us, that frame mischief by law? No. You shouldn't have fellowship with them. Yeah, bro.
This is from RevisedSociology.com. Shulamith Firestone in the Artificial Womb. Shulamith Firestone argues that the main cause of gender inequality is the biological fact of childbirth.
Now this one was saying this back in the 70s. Go on.
Which puts women at a physical disadvantage to men.
So you're saying, see, she's saying that the main cause of gender inequality is that women got to go through childbirth. And what that does is, women got to go through childbirth, and it puts them at a physical disadvantage. Go ahead.
She suggests that we need to develop an artificial womb so that women have the choice to be free from the biological necessity of childbirth.
And this is exactly. So she wanted women to be free from the biological necessity of childbirth. In other words, come up with like an artificial womb, as you read earlier, where a baby could basically be inside that artificial fetus and basically replicate everything that the woman's womb does. Waste and everything. Reading book. I believe this is a book called The Dialectic of Sex.
Her best known work is The Dialectic of Sex, published in 1970. Firestone argues that the sexual class system was the first form of stratification. Such systems existed before class-based systems in capitalism. She argues that biological differences between men and women form the basis for a differentiated division of labor organized into what she calls the biological family, which has 4 key characteristics. Women are disadvantaged by the biology, especially pregnancy and childbirth. When they are weakened and caring for the young children, they are dependent on men. Husbands.
See, women got to go through childbirth. We're dependent on men. See that? Now see where this is where the black woman get it from.
Husbands, brothers, fathers, for their physical survival. Women's dependency on men is severe because of the long period of time it takes human infants to mature.
So she got to do what that for 15 years, right?
The interdependence between mother and child, and both of them on men, is found in every human society. And this dependency relationship produces unequal relationships.
Right.
The sexual class systems forms the basis of all other class systems. Men enjoy their power over women in the biological family and seek to extend this into other realms of social and economic life.
Now type in post-genderism. So ultimately, this is what they really want. This is what they really want. They want to get rid of women being able to get pregnant by men. Because think about it. If you're a woman and you don't got to deal with a baby, guess what? You can work more. You be more productive for society. If you're going to have some dumbass, blue-haired, butch woman that's going to be like, yeah! Little fat bitches looking like the clown from Spawn. That clown from Spawn, his name
Violator.
His name is the Violator. You say his name was the Violator. They look like him, man. Yeah, man. Looking all fat and wobbly and shit. Those gonna be the ones, you know, man. You know what I'm talking about? The woman that no man would have a baby with gonna be the one saying, you know what I'm talking about? Gonna be the one saying, yeah, we gotta get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, a lot of them so-called feminists, they be looking like dykes and shit. Or they be straight women that is unattractive. They're literally from the tribe of KRS-One. They got that look. You know what I'm saying? They got that look. Okay.
I want to share something real quick, brother, because it's going exactly what you're talking about. There was a 2023 sci-fi comedy called The Pod Generation.
See?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Or?
No.
Just look at this, brother. Just look at this. You see that?
Yeah.
The pod generation.
Let me check that out.
And basically, the synapse of the movie is, in a not so distant future, amid a society madly in love with technology, tech giant Pegasus offers couples the opportunity to share their pregnancy via detachable artificial wombs or pods.
See? That's a series?
That was a movie, bro. You seen it?
I
They
gotta
had the
check that
Jake
out.
man with to make it look like he was pregnant with the pod here and shit.
Yeah.
It was.
I gotta check that out. Real talk, that's what they're trying to get to. That's what they're trying to get to, bro. And it's working. Because you gotta think about a lot of these dumbass men, sex is most men's primary motivator. So if women are telling you, oh well, you gonna do something, man will go with the woman because he's afraid that if you go against it, he ain't gonna sleep with her. Get that scripture.
This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
That's what Esau does. He devises evil upon his bed. When he's in his privacy, when he's at home, Esau's constantly thinking about wickedness. Go ahead.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
And then when the morning is light, they practice it. You know, the person's at home in bed, they thinking about what they're going to do for the next day. You know what they got to get for the morning to do.
Brainstorm.
Exactly.
They
Brainstorm.
probably got thought bubbles. You know how you have to write essays and shit? You got in the branch tree, the bubbles. That's what they doing. Like, how could I do this and this?
Right. It's working. A lot of the men are going with it. We can't tell what her body is. Her body.
Yo, bro, this thing has been so systematic because one thing they slowly, because you know the so-called white man operates with gradualism. One thing they've been pushing for a year is what? Put your career for family, right? Tell the women to have kids like in their 30s and shit. Now the apostle Elder Gabar, he already did a lesson. The prime of a woman is when she gets her period. That's the prime time for her to have kids. But it's that right there, right? Put your career first. It's just it's not just one thing the so-called white man did. It's a collection of small things over a period of time, all right, to pretty much desensitize your brain to say, okay, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Systematic.
You gotta think about that, you know, because they'll tell you, oh, don't have kids because of your career. Like your brother said. And guess what? What race of woman is most enrolled in college? Black woman. The more educated you are, if you look it up, the more educated a woman is, the more likely she is to not have children. You may find that more educated women are having kids than ever before. But they're still having less than women who don't have that level of education. You know what I'm saying? The higher level that you got, high school diploma, you're more likely to have a child than somebody like a master's. Why? Because you spend more time in school. And they don't have children to start their career.
You know one thing I'll say too, like if you think about it logically, which women are logical, time can bring back your career, but time can't bring back your fertility. In other words, you can go pursue a nursing career degree and shit in your 30s or 40s, right? You can't do that with starting a family and a child. So you should be prioritizing kids, you know what I'm saying? But again, the so-called white man is extremely fucking crafty, and what the brothers are going to is what they call think tanks, right? Now, I don't know if you brothers seen the movie Undercover Brother. So remember, there's a scene in Undercover Brother, like if you just look at it from a satire point, you just laugh, but if you apply Revelations 3 and 18, you see, holy shit, this thing goes down like this. Like, so he infiltrated the man, whatever the man, which is so-called white man, building, and in there they had a think tank. And the think tank was, how can we get these niggers to smoke cigarettes? And he was like, look it out. And he was like, look at your cigarette, it's all limpy. Let me introduce the fatty. And he had like a cigarette that looked like a giant blood. It was supposed to be like funny and shit, but it's something like that they'll do. They'll have Jakes come together, like, how can we get them to do this? And they really have a think tank about it.
Of course, you're right, bro, because you gotta understand, think tanks is when you have a group of experts in various fields coming together with ideas. You have your media psychologists. How does the media affect the psychology of the person? Then you have your sociologists. How can we socialize people to certain things? You'll have your actual psychologist. You'll have a person who understands, advertising. All these different things. The sociologists understand behavior. Not all of them come together, come up with ideas. There's this documentary called Happiness Machines. And it's Sigmund Freud and Edward Bernays. In the documentary that explains how they got men to how they got women to smoke cigarettes. They associated cigarettes as a sign of male power and dominance. So what they would do is they would put like different, like what they would do is he associated with freedom. You had women that had these cigarettes like strapped to their legs, covered in a dress. And I think during the Easter celebration somewhere in New York, when he gave the signal, they would take out the cigarettes and they would like them to smoke. And he asked somebody to take a picture, and it was on the cover of the paper saying, "Torches of freedom." Because prior to that, it was considered taboo for women to smoke cigarettes. But they're so associated with male sexuality and male power. What it does, it will make women feel jealous and want to do it as well. He even had the idea, you had a company that had a bunch of sausages and they didn't know how to sell it. So you know what he did? He talked to different experts in the health field. He came up with sausages and eggs all part of a well-balanced breakfast.
The guy you're mentioning, his family owns Netflix.
See that?
So that propaganda still, he was all infatuated, I forgot his name, I think.
Edward Benet.
He was infatuated with how we psychologically control the human mind through propaganda.
Remember the third Titanic, the one with Kate Winslet, when she went to smoke a cigarette, and then Carlton he took it from her and put it out because you had the men that they would go smoke the cigars, brandy and shit after the dinner. Remember that Titanic movie? They was like they were congratulating themselves on being masters of the universe. It's masculine. When she tried to smoke, he put that shit out. You know what I mean? Because it's not feminine.
It's all considered taboo. Now women are smoking like men. Smoking like niggas now. You got a chick outside sitting there rolling up weed, you know? It looks unappealing. Real talk. They wonder why their titties be all, you know?
You got a lot of women with tattoos in their neck going down to their whole body. That shit is unattractive. They can be real beautiful in the face, but they got all kind of tattoos in their body. That shit is unattractive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. I don't really want to give no chick that got all kind of tattoos all over their body. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's just not a pimp.
Yep.
At least that's to me.
So that's what they did.
I'm saying they like that shit. You know what I'm saying? But a woman tattooed out, you know what I mean? Well, she got her whole body tattooed out. Well, I seen the chick, she had tattoos all over us. I'm like, oh shit. I still popped, but I'm like, okay, I wasn't feeling her, you know what I mean? That day, you know what I mean? All over her body, bro. That's crazy, bro.
They associated cars with the male penis. You know what I'm saying? It make you want to buy a bigger car. It's all about the mind. How they play tricks on the mind. That's what they do. This is what they do. So Esau's doing the same shit with this homo shit. We got faggots everywhere.
So we got faggots everywhere.
Genesis 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made.
We bring this out all the time. The serpent was more subtle, meaning what? More crafty, more cunning. His cunning is still for the sixth secret than any beast of the field. Than any nation on the earth. That's the most subtle weapon. Esau. Wow. He's the most crafty. Esau knows how to find ways to get you to go at each other. He knows how to do it. He's been doing this for hundreds of years. Esau knows, man. Esau knows what to do. For example, if you actually go on the internet, you can look up line graphs and bar graphs of how homosexuality started to get accepted in the more and more homosexuality started to get accepted in the United States, even among the races. You know, if you look at black people today, and you look at black people 15, 20 years ago, you ain't gonna see it's way low. But if they could put us out there in the image looking like a faggot, and guess what? Dudes gonna bring that over. You gotta accept that. Black faggot, black people are us. Black lives don't matter. Now they're saying black lives don't matter unless you're trans. That's fucking wicked as hell, man.
I got the definition.
And we gotta accept them. We got these damn black ass women. That's the problem with a lot of you nigga men. A lot of these so-called black people be kissing these bitches' ass. You know what I'm saying? You wanna agree with this shit to the bitches agree with you. You don't wanna offend faggots because I'm best friend of faggots. You what I'm saying? Because he hang out with so-called trainers, man. The other day I was in Manhattan, I saw some fucking black bitch with some nigga that looked like a fucking bitch. Well, not look like a bitch, look like a nigga, but trying to look like a bitch. Excuse me. Because he looked just like her. I'm like, that gotta be a fucking brother. As soon as I look, I said, that's a nigga. Trying to look like a fucking bitch. Had like a hand like a bunch or some shit like that. And I looked at him and looked at the person he was with. I said, they were just alike. Because I'm like, that gotta be her brother. That is same like face. He couldn't even look like a bitch he wanted to. Disgusting. Disgusting, man. I'm telling y'all, watch these heavy makeup, long eyelash, wig wearing, baby head bitches. Huh? I don't even tell them. Because those bitches look like niggas. I even saw a video, some Benjamin woman, she was talking. She was like, you got black women now, they wearing all of this extra stuff on their face. She said, I believe some men are going to get tricked. And some of y'all men may get tricked, man. I'm telling you, man, you're supposed to wear some heavy makeup, long eyelash, wig wearing, baby head, bitch, trying to holler at you. Look the other way. Look the other way. Oh, well, no, this woman, no. All right?
Especially when you go to the club, drinking.
Right, yeah. And them fucking faggots won't say nothing. Them faggots won't say nothing, I'm sure, but they faggots. And them faggots don't want to deal with faggot men, they want to try and deal with straight men. Fuck around trying to roll up on the wrong straight dude and try some faggot shit with your fucking head cracked open. Hey, what do you do?
Definition of subliminal.
I'm tired of walking around saying fucking faggots everywhere.
Definition of subliminal. Subliminal. Of a stimulus or mental process, it says below the threshold of sensation or consciousness.
Below the threshold of sensation or consciousness. Below the threshold of sensation or consciousness, right? So it's going under your conscious mind. Conscious is when you're aware of something. Subconscious when you are aware of it. Like I said this in the past. You ever was somewhere and you was kind of lost and wasn't sure where you had to go? But you're like, damn, what's that? And you see a building with like a red awning over it. I remember that. I'm close. We close. You don't actually remember where you gotta be, but you know it's next to that. Because why? You were there before. Your subconscious mind stored that participation. To the point when you got in that area, your subconscious put it in your conscious mind. You became consciously aware that, okay, I remember that's the store with the red awning because it was next to an urban shop. So we nearby. There you go right there. You understand what I'm saying? So Esau put stuff out there to go into your subconscious mind. Because your conscious mind wants to get up. So what they do is they say, all right, here we go and do. Esau's putting black men out there as being effeminate. Notice that? Notice that? There's this mass influence of homo black men in the world. Rappers homo, actors homo, straight rap actors just look like homo. They look like women. Why is that? I said this in the past. It's early. How about you my child? It's because of white male fragility, white fragility. They're insecure about black male sexual prowess and dominance. So Esau's way of emasculating us is portraying us in feminine men. It's like a higher level of dirty Mac. You know what dirty Mac is? The dude trying to holler at a woman and he's trying to throw dirt on his name? Exactly. That's like a high level of dirty Mac. He's insecure about black men's desirability and sexual prowess. So he wants to portray black men in the feminine men to make the world say, look, he's not as much of a man as a big white woman. Because guess what? Esau got an issue with that because black men are white. He got an issue with that. But guess what? That's too damn bad. That's too damn bad. I saw a study that said like 97% of white women were doing the thing. So go back. Is this what it is, man? You think Esau don't know when he had a party somewhere and the group of black guys like, black guys trying to take our girls? You don't think that? Of course you think that. Oh damn, another black guy doing the street interview asking a white girl a question, the white guy, the black guy, saying black guys. You think white men don't see that? I think I've seen that written there before, right? A dude on the street asks a white chick, I have black guy, white guy. Oh, black guy. Whatever. And why do you think white men don't see that and don't be like, that's what they say. So Esau saying that don't put you through respect. It's a little more.
It says perceiving perceived by or affecting someone's mind without them being aware of it.
It's affecting your mind without you being aware. So now guess what? A nigga will go and wear a dress just to be funny. A nigga have a web series and wear a dress. Ain't no crap coming in there and say, hey, nigga, you gotta wear a dress and then get this $10 million. No, that's just a fucking homeboy that's behind the camera on a damn phone. So ain't nobody offering no millions of dollars to get a dress. You wearing it because you seen the other niggas do it. Brainwash. You know what I'm saying?
You ever heard of Tavistock Institute?
Oh yeah, Tavistock Institute. Yeah.
You got information on it. I just typed in the homosexual agenda for the black communities through Tavistock. It says Tavistock Institute, psychological engineering and culture control. Tavistock is on ChatGPT. Tavistock is accused of being a global brain trust for social manipulation, especially in the West, through media, music, education, entertainment, and social movements. The alleged use psychological warfare to disrupt traditional structures like the family, create confusion in identity and roles, engineer obedience and mass conformity.
See? Engineer obedience and mass conformity. That's what everybody conforming to.
Yep.
Everybody conforming to it. It's like Drake men used to stand, this black men used to stand up for something 50, 60, 70 years ago. Now they ain't standing up for nothing. They just going with the flow. They just accept it. You know why? Because it's a black woman. That black ass woman. The black woman agree with these niggas don't agree with because they want to kiss these bitches' ass. You know what I'm saying? Mass conformity. That's what they want. Think about it. I was saying this before. Jake is the only people that put the words for their kind to represent. What a white man put in the incest family of the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia on TV? Why didn't he point them out there? Huh? Because he so knows that he ain't gonna put us out there in a negative light. More than that.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, but the love of it. Because if you love the money, you get it. I'm not watching this video, and you understand black people, Jake has been brainwashed to have a superficial intelligence. In other words, they only understand things in a superficial level. If it goes any deeper than just the surface, a nigga can't understand it. They just can't get it. You go on the internet, you notice how they got all these white celebrities adopting black babies now? You haven't noticed that? All these white celebrities adopting black babies. Charlie Theron got a black baby. I think one of the dudes from Duck Dynasty got one. That one of them fitness ones. A lot of these white celebrities, I don't know if I've ever seen white people in person with no black baby. I've seen that before.
Yep.
Why? Because there's genocide, man.
You have homosexual couples, Edomite couples,
Yeah.
males,
Yeah.
with a Jake
Asherah.
baby.
Jake baby.
It's crazy.
Real talk. Because you understand, what was I just saying? Oh, the Genocide Convention, 1948. What was that before? It gives different definitions of genocide. And one definition is taking the children of one and giving them to another. That's genocide. Because you destroy the child psychologically. That's why they made it up. No, Genocide Convention. Genocide. Type it in, Genocide Convention. Genocide Convention, 1948.
Is the root of all evil. Yeah, so that's why you got Jake in Hollywood, they wearing dresses. You know, what's the similarity all these celebrities got? The male celebrities, they all get with trannies. All right, every single last one of them. Your favorite rapper from the 80s, 70s, they all get with trannies. LL Cool J, all of them, right? It says, which while some coveteth after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through many sorrows.
It says, according to the Genocide Convention, Article 2 defines the genocide, Class E. It says, forcibly transferring children of a group to another group.
Genocide. What you got?
I got genocide. The definition of genocide per the convention, it says genocide is defined as acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group, including killing members of the group, causing serious bodily,
Killing them. They hung us. Gunners down the street. Yeah.
causing serious bodily or mental harm.
Police brutality. The psychiatric industry. Yeah.
It says deliberately inflicting conditions calculated to destroy the group.
Sometimes the amount of flash arrests on the line, they think it was the white people. You wonder why they got high level of diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. You wonder why that is. See? In the 90s, they had rappers on St. Oz commercials. Why?
That's stuff.
Big out. That messed your kidneys up. St. Oz.
It reads imposing measures to prevent births.
Abortion.
It reads forcibly transferring children of the group.
You know, adoption.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 17, verse 7. Show thy loving, marvelous loving kindness. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna start verse 8. This is the book of Psalm 17, verse 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth.
This is going to the point about that article you read. It says Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. And thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
And that's not just talking about slavery. That also goes to update that to the adoption.
Yeah.
Because I pointed out before, the spirit, if you look at the amount of black children in New Jersey, let's say it's 25%. And if you foster care, it's like 60%. Why? You go and do research, you'll find out what? You'll find out that the things that children are taken away from their families, Edomite children are allowed to stay with them. So under them same circumstances, they're more likely to take us. This is what Esau does. In 1985, around there, they made a movie called Bruce and Isaiah. Halle Berry was a crackhead from the Green Projects. They shut up a child in the alleyway, dumpster. Dogs being found the next day. They had to take Green Projects down because that project averaged like 37 murders a day. He was going to kill all left and right out there. That's when they filmed Candyman. That was Candyman was based upon a murder from Cabrini Green. Somebody actually smashed like a woman's mirror and killed her. You know? Huh?
That's 3 murders.
Yeah, it was fucking wicked out there. 30 murders, 27 murders. That's in the housing project, not in the neighborhood. It's wicked as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, not in Chicago. See what I'm saying? So anyway, like I was saying, the mayor or the governor of the city, something like that, lived there. She just looked at it for a couple months. She left for like 2 weeks or like a month or something. It's so fucking bad. The hallways, you go in the elevators, it's pitch black. The hallways got walls, there's holes in it this big. You know what I'm saying? They were sniping people over the roof. All kind of shit was going on there, man. But anyway, I remember I saw it on Hood to Hood DVD years ago. But anyway, like I was saying, what was that before? Oh yeah, that was it, right. So what happened was the baby got found by the garbage. So basically the child went up for adoption by a white family. So let's stop right there. White woman, black woman. Poverty in the ghetto, she lived in an affluent community, in the suburbs. So you got the racial disparity, you got the economic disparity. So that was can't take care of their own kids. Then it was like a year after that passed, I remember a scene in that movie. When they asked the little boy that played Isaiah, he had a white sister, white Homo sister. They put their hands together. They said, What's the difference? So what's the thing? Your hand is bigger. I guess that was the why he didn't see color. I don't think nobody got that, but I said that's what I think. That's what that gotta be fun. But anyway, the guy that played her was the guy that played the kid version of 50 Cent in the movie. And he was in Power. 50 Cent killed him. He was canon. I don't know if you remember. It was like P-Dub or something like that. But he played a little 50 Cent in the Get Rich or Die Trying movie. But anyway, like I was saying, the year after losing Isaiah, like around that same time, Congress passed something called the Multi-Ethnic Placement Act, where race isn't to be taken into account when adopting a child. So why would you pass that? Why would you pass that? Why would you pass that a year after making losing Isaiah? Unless losing Isaiah was meant to promote transracial adoption. That's the only thing it could have been, right? Losing Isaiah was meant to promote transracial adoption. That's why he did that. Make a movie about a white woman adopting a black baby, and then we're gonna pass during the same time we're gonna pass the Multi-Ethnic Act with a race of a child should be taken into account. Racial should be taken into account adoption. That's all set up. But you know these niggas that got it out. Oh no, just black, unfortunate black kids. You know, they just need help.
Based on psychological warfare.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They know what their agenda is. It's always about keeping us down. Yeah.
Look that up.
Finish it up.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters should be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. If I may say, that goes into the Child Protective Service, ACS, those programs. Those is based on coming into your house, and once you let them in, I just learned it a few months ago. Once you let them in, they got all rights. You don't have no more rights. So your first thing you're supposed to do is don't let them in, because they can't bust your door in. You know, so you gotta keep them out your house. That's like letting they got this saying about vampires, letting vampires in, letting these demons in your house, and they try to take control of your whole structure of your home.
Yeah, this is Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
That's right. And you're supposed to be letting your sons and your daughters know what's going on in society and deal with reality. That's right.
Yeah, he that, Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
That's why they want to take out kids.
Yeah.
They want to be taught. But Esau don't know that. Even in Native American schools, there's a documentary I saw. I didn't take the documentary. It's on YouTube. I think it's called like White People MTV documentary on YouTube real fast. Just to see if it's there. I gotta check it out. White People documentary MTV. Did you see like a white dude with a fucking regular bitch?
You got it.
You see? Yeah, yep, that's it. In that documentary, I believe it's that documentary, they went into how you got schools on them goddamn reservations, and the teachers in those schools, all of them are white. Think about that.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't want you to have another Native person there teaching Native children, because you're going to teach them their real history.
Right.
Now you may say, wait a minute, you mean to tell me all of those white teachers are in on a conspiracy? No, they may not be in on it at all. But because they're white, it's going to automatically be alarming to them seeing the group of natives rise up. So it's only natural that they see that they're going to call authorities. You know what I'm saying? A white teacher teaching in a black school, he may not be, or she may not be one of some upper class of white people who order put shit down. But being white, already having the mentality of what Jake is like. Anything you see, oh my gosh, black kid, wearing the color of green, I think that's a game. I'm calling cops. Let me call security. They already know what the reaction is going to be by putting him in that environment. You know what I'm saying? He still know what the f he doing. He know what he does.
Sirach 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
So he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Go ahead.
And before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
So what? Guess what? He still don't want Jake knowing the truth.
Yep. Though his father die, yet
he is as though he were not dead.
So his father died, he's like his father wasn't even dead. Right?
For he have left one behind him that is like himself.
He left one behind that's just like himself, bro. Son, damn, bro.
Real quick, a little quiet. Verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
Now, if you see something, you notice if you got Jake on the internet that be talking about white supremacy this, white supremacy that. You ever seen on the internet? White supremacy this, white Guess what? You ain't hear them bring out what we bring out. But them niggas don't know shit about it. Right. It's just a fad. It's all it is. The new cool thing to do. It's the new cool thing to do. It's like white supremacy. White supremacy. White supremacy. But you don't hear them talk about it no other aspect. Other than some shit that's in the spot. That's why I said what? They got a superficial intelligence. Oh shoot, look, a black guy killed by a white cop. That's white supremacy. You don't really know how to go that way. Okay.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have
tumult
lifted...
is a noise of war. Go ahead.
It reads, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
Lifted up their head in pride. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Yeah, remember back in the days, they had a 50-cent crackhead sodas? Bummies? Tropical Fantasy,
CNC.
you know, CNC soda. Yeah, they just call them, yes, they just call them. They just call them sperm killers, you know? You know why? Because they kill your sperm. You know what I'm saying? Top pop. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I used to drink
to be good.
I used to drink the big top pop soda.
That shit used to hit.
I used to drink the red one, the fruit punch. The shit was good. I ain't gonna lie. I used to drink Sunnydale's, brother. A quart of iced tea.
Milk drink, I remember that, right.
And it's
Milk
cheap
drink.
too.
Exactly.
So everyone gonna buy it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Then I remember they started to sell like a little soda that looked like shit, like a milk jug.
Yeah.
They sell that too. I had a nigga one of those. But I ain't drink soda in like almost 20 years. But back then, I used to do that. You know what I'm saying? I used to do that back then. Real talk. I remember one time with one of my homegirls, I was drinking the soda. She was like, "You drinking that? Those are sperm killers." I was like 12 years old. She said that. I'm saying, but real talk. Why he's so doing that? Because he wants to bring that out of the birth rate. That's why earlier we was talking about how the more educated a woman is, the more likely she is to remain childless. That's the reason why there's so many Jake women in college. Because they know that that's going to increase the birth rate. So knows what he's doing.
Yep. It reads verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
What are they going to do? So what do they want to do? They want to exterminate the nation Israel. First, they're going to take the name and associate the Israelites with people that's not even Israelites. And then they want to destroy us. That's what Esau wants to do, man. I just had something in my mind, just slipped my mind. That's what Esau want to do. Now you got Jake online going at it. You got one tribe going against another tribe. You got Jake, you got Judah going against Benjamin online now. Yeah, see, they going against us, man. I'm like, niggas just look for any reason to fucking bicker and bitch and argue with each other. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And Jake spent more time on social media than any other race. So guess what? They're susceptible to the brainwashing. And that's all they see all day long.
It reads, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And then it just goes into the nations.
All the nations. So they all confederate against all these nations they're in on. All these nations, everybody's aware of it except the children of Israel themselves. You know? They don't get it. Go to the neighborhood, you walk through your neighborhood, you got a McDonald's, and right across you got a pizza shop, 2 rows down is a Italian restaurant, 3 rows down is another Italian restaurant, across the street it's a KFC, down the block is a Church of Chicken, and right around the corner is the Burger King, the block down is Dunkin' Donuts, right next to it. damn Wendy's right around the corner from the Taco Bell. Next to, and in between all of that is 7 liquor stores. Yeah, you wonder why Jake all jacked up.
Based upon that, that's dealing with the curses. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 17. Cursed should thy baskets and thy stores. Cursed should thy fruits of thy body, and the fruits of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Be under the curses.
So guess what? Whatever we're going to put our hands to, what's going to succeed. It's going to be cursed. Curse should be that basket in the store. They say so. The person has a farm, has land, right? And they gather things to a basket, and they storing it into a barn. They're saving it for the future. Look at Jake. Jake on all levels seen him going broke at some point. As Jake's I grew up with, that is to scam. Cats used to scam. I was like, I don't want to do nothing good with that shit. I'm getting into this. Them dudes made a lot of money. Got locked up. I seen some of them work in the supermarket. Some of them had regular jobs, and they didn't even want to come around because they didn't want nobody to know they had a regular job because they were ashamed. They used to take trips to this state, Miami, Vegas, rent out hotels, take the girls with them, had these expensive mink coats, and nice girls, clothes, and shoes. Probably made $800,000 to $1 million. Got forced to years in jail. Now you're working in the supermarket, stocking, canned pineapples and stuff. That's what you've been reduced to. You know what I'm saying? That's what you've been reduced to. Still living in the PJs, in the project. You know what I'm saying? Celebrities make hundreds of millions of dollars. If you ain't the only person who got a mansion that had like 100 rooms. Why? They don't want to grow. That was a point. So if I may say, child support taxes, and how much money you make, you're going to live according to the means. If you make $5 in a week, you might have a room that's $700 a month. You make a G a week, you might have a little apartment that's $1,500 a week. You make $3,000 a week, you might have an apartment where you can't pay your rent is $2,500 a month. Now, if you're a multi-millionaire, you might have a house that's $2.5 million. People are going to tend to live according to their means. I'll stay low. You know what I'm saying? People tend to live according to their needs. Whatever money you're making right now, you living according to that right now. Because if not, you'd be living a lot better. So no matter what level you live with, no matter what finance you want, you become multi-millionaire, your house may be $2.5 million. But how much more you got to pay a month? What you got to pay in insurance? How many cars you got? Look at these rappers. They have a $2 million house. They ain't taking into account they ain't going to be hot 7 years from now.
Right.
I'm saying, you got all of them cars that's worth $150,000, $27,000. You realize you ain't hot no more. You realize you went from getting paid 100 G's a show. Now you're getting paid 15,000 a show because you got to sell that $150,000 car that you're only going to get 70,000. You got to sell that jewelry that you had that was 1.5 million. When you sell it, you're only getting 400,000, 500,000. If that. You got to bring down everything. That house you got is worth $2.5 million. You want to sell it for $1.5 million, but they say I'm not buying it for $1.5 million. I'll give it to you 1.25. Fuck it, they don't take it. So now you got $2 million in your account, but you still you don't want the world to know you broke. So you start still buying shit. If anybody say man $50 million when you're out there his career, you know broke. You've been taking like 4 people from his family on a fucking vacation. Come on, man. Going and shopping and spending 100 G's. You end up broke. It happens to all of us. That's a lot.
So when I was growing up, I'll take $100. I would get 2 pair of sneakers, 2 pair of jeans, and 5 shirts. My brother, he would take that about 1 pair of sneakers. It's crazy, man. I was to stretch my money, man.
Luke chapter 3, verse 8. It says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Yeah, that's right. So it says, we are yet this day in our captivity. And the we is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And what's our captivity here in America, man? Somebody get Jeremiah 50, I think it's 33. And so it says, we got to get.
This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Right, where thou hast scattered us. And the scriptures tell you in the curses, in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, that will be scattered throughout all heathen nations. So you got Israelites that are in every continent, in every country in the earth, man, looking like other nations. You got our people that look like so-called Chinese, that look like so-called white people, that look like so-called East Indians, all right? When you look into during a time when a lot of the Jews was getting kicked out of Europe, a lot of them went into Asia, a lot of them went into India. That is part of Asia. But if you look it up, the Jews of China, I believe they came there in 1300s or something like that. You know, you got Jews in India, so our people are literally scattered all over the earth, man.
It says for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Yeah, subject to payments, paying bills. And this is how you know this is mainly talking about here in America, man. Because this is the place where capitalism started. This is the place where you got to live paycheck to paycheck. You know, this is the top of the Western countries, man. This happens, you know, in Europe too, and in other countries. But who do they model themselves after, man? America, Babylon. All right. So subject to payments, you gotta pay taxes before you even see your money. They already get their cut. You know, and then you know, y'all was going into child support. You know, Lord forbid you want that. They taking their cut too. You know, and then you gotta pay rent. You gotta pay you know, light bill. You know, car insurance and all of that. And before you know it, you barely left with anything left, man.
You're moving a little
You
weird,
know,
though. I ain't gonna lie.
sometimes you know, Jake gotta you know, question if they're gonna eat or put gas in their car, man. You know.
Yeah, when I was talking to my father this week, and my father, you know, made me sad. He was like, it feel like I work for nothing.
Yep.
You know, you always gotta like pay bills, like try to help you get pops out, give him a little money. You know, we under the curses.
Yeah.
It says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Yeah, that's right. So our fathers departed, which our fathers is us in the reincarnation. So really, everything that we're going through here in this society is because we fucked up in our past, man. You know, this is not, you know, random. You know, we just born on the curse. No, man. This all goes back all the way to the wilderness, where the Most High gave a contract to the Israelites, telling them that this is what you should do if you want to get the blessings, and if you don't, if you don't want to be blessed, this is what these are the laws you're gonna break. You know, if you break the laws, these are the curses that come from breaking those laws. You know, so it was a contract, and we broke it. So now we're suffering the penalties of the contract, man. You know?
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Yeah, and overtake thee. So there's nothing you can do to stop it, man. You know? Jake think that, you know, they could get money, they could get away from those curses, they get out the hood, you know, they get a better property, you know, they elevate the way of life of their family, but niggas still end up dying broke. Niggas still gotta pay bills, man. You know? All you are is just an exalted slave. You're still a slave, you're just an exalted slave, man. Right? So all these curses shall overtake you, man. So there's nothing you can do to get out of this condition, man. Only way to get out is by the way of Yahweh Shah, man. Right? So you gotta come into this truth if you want to get out of this, man. It's not taking up arms, building our communities, building black banks, black communities. That's not gonna get us out of this predicament, man. Jake wanna build a society within Esau society, man. That don't work.
Using his money system.
Yeah.
You gonna go to Africa, y'all gonna put your money together, you still under his system.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world, you still under his system.
Yeah.
So where y'all running to?
Yeah, like the whole thing with Ibrahim Traore, you know, you see what he's doing for Jake in West Africa, and then you see Jake over here, you know, they're like, yo, they ready to move out there. You know, basically Africa is the next superpower pretty much, and they can't wait. You know, in the next 10 years, Africa gonna be up, and they're gonna move to Africa because they hate America. No, man, it doesn't matter if Ibrahim Traore and, a few countries come together, man. You still under the so-called white man system. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. It wasn't given to Jake, man. Yeah, because all those countries that's in Africa, they're under the rulership of the European countries. You got parts of Africa that's under the control of France. You got parts of Africa that's, being controlled by Great Britain. Even in the Caribbean islands like Barbados, Jamaica, they ran by Great Britain, England. So it's like the brothers are saying, you can't go nowhere because that vibration and that rulership is still under Esau, the so-called white man.
That's why it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And that one people is only the Edomites, the so-called white man. And he runs the whole earth. It ain't the Arabs. You know how they say the Arabs knocked down the building? That didn't happen. They did it deliberate. That's their doing. There's no way in hell that the Arabs could be able to do that because they don't run the earth.
Yeah.
Everything is orchestrated.
Yeah.
And that's where we at right now.
And it's real quick to add on, because I was looking at this video the other day, and basically I forgot what particular country it was in Africa, but they're ran by France. So in that country, in that region, they basically will find all the gold, all like the natural resources, and before they could trade those resources, they have to basically go to France and ask for approval. You know what I'm saying? Or they use those natural resources and trade it with the France dollar, which I think exactly. Just proving that even more. You know what I'm saying?
It's over like a dozen countries in Africa that France still owns. They're colonies of France. Even the president, he was caught bragging about that. How first right of refusal. That's what it's called. First right of refusal. So basically, France got first dibs. They have the right to refuse first. So like France has the right to refuse nations. Okay. Yeah, man. Ever since Ibrahim Traore took power, he's kicking out, the Western powers out of Burkina Faso, and a lot of other leaders have been doing the same. Mali, Niger, and a few other countries in West Africa have been kicking Esau out. And ever since they've kicked Esau out, they've made more money than ever before. Burkina Faso, I believe they was seeing like $1 billion a year in terms of the uranium that was being sold. Ever since they kicked France out, just in I believe 3 months, they see $18 billion, man. So Esau. This is why the scripture say the thief cometh not but to steal and kill and destroy, man. He just steals up everything, man. Right. Get that real quick and then we'll get that.
This is Haggai chapter 1 and verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little.
Yeah, that's right. So you work overtime. The more you work, the more taxes you pay, man. Here it is, you're trying to make some more money, trying to get some more funds. You go work overtime, and you look at your check, you're like, man, I should have never worked that shit in the first place. It wasn't even worth it, man. You losing sleep, feet hurt, back hurt and shit, right? You so much, but bring a little, man. Because the money that we're making is not even money, man. You got these Edomites that's seeing hundreds of dollars per hour, man. You got these billionaires that's making thousands per hour, man. 5,000 per hour, man. Right? But Jake over here fighting for some crumbs, man.
And just to add on too, because the money's fake. The money's fiat. They can print the money. That's how you know they're in rulership, because that's why they got rid of gold being backed up by the dollar. And so they can have the full control and the full access of wealth, of the economy. It's all fake. They could print they could add money to your account. You could be a millionaire tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Literally. All you gotta do is type in some numbers and put it in your bank account. Now you have $1 million.
Yeah, that's a fact.
This shit is fake, bro.
And then that's how Esau is able to bribe nations, man. Because he controls the currency. So all he does, he goes overseas, he tells them to just write a blank check. He gives them a blank check and tell them to write a number. They write their numbers, and that's how you get them in his pocket, man. This is why when COVID happened, all these nations play ball, man. They all lock the world down, lock their countries, and introduce a jab. Why? Because they're in bed with the beast, man. They're committing fornication with her.
It says ye eat, but ye have not enough.
Yeah, because the food doesn't have the proper nutrients, man. Because they're all GMO. You get you go to the grocery store or whatever, you eat, or a deli or whatever. You're like, God damn, you just ate, 2 hours ago. You're already hungry again, man. Why? Because the food doesn't have the nutrients, man. So your body's still craving those nutrients. That's why you're hungry, because your body wants some nutrients, man. That's why your stomach growls, man. Right? So when you're feeding your stomach and it doesn't have those nutrients, your stomach is still empty, man.
Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye
the
clothe you.
water, same with the water. It doesn't have the proper minerals, man.
Ye clothe you, but there is no warmth. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
Yeah, that's going into those different payments, man. Different ways your money's being split, man. Picture you have a whole bag of coins. You put it in your pocket and it all fall over the place, man. That represents everywhere your money's going, man. You got car number, you got car insurance, which that shit is all a scam, right? Because most people don't get in that many accidents in their lifetime. And if it was because of that, why don't they give the money back if you don't ever get into an accident for the year? Give it back at the end of the year, right? But they ain't gonna do that, so it's all a scam, man. And now, even if you get into an accident, they'll try not to pay you, man. Try to give you different excuses. Now they got this new thing with they got different accident points. 1-point accident, 2-point accident, where they could straight up deny you if they consider it a 2-point accident. So it's all a scam, man.
Even with credit. There's certain things with the credit system that is a scam. You gotta really know your rights. Because you can owe, why you think that you can owe, let's say you went debt for $100,000, right? Why you think you could get that credit wiped off? Or why you think in certain businesses you gain a lot of money and you lose it, you can file bankruptcy and you don't gotta owe them. Show you that it's manipulated, it's fake. Everything is fake. The credit system's fake. Even in your car, if you buy a car, you're not supposed to technically they're not supposed to technically look at your credit score. Technically. If you really go into the rights of your credit. You know what I'm saying? And you call a credit repair guy, he do that, everything's wiped off. You know what I'm saying?
All of them are illegal. The whole credit system is illegal, man. It's just some bullshit just to further create a divide between the rich and the poor. Let's say you got, there's a house you want to buy. The house, let's say it's $500,000. Let's say you got $250 or $300, but you got bad credit. They'll most likely still deny you, man. It doesn't matter if you got cash anymore. You can have a car, car that said costs $20,000. You can try to come, try buying it, 15, but they'll try to give you a loan. You try to buy the car cash at the dealership, man. Because it's all about interest. That's how they make their money. It's the interest on the money that they loan out, man. So that's how they keep you in debt.
Even slightly, because I was talking to a brother about this. Even when let's say you owe somebody and you couldn't pay that credit back, they basically sell that debt and still make profits off the debt. This shit is crazy, bro. I was like, wow, they would do that? No, why you think when you basically, let's say you owe, let's say your car got repossessed, right? And you owe that bank $15,000. Now, why you think like months later, a whole nother collection company say, oh look, you owe $15,000, but if you pay us $8,000, you clear. Because they basically bought that debt and still somehow, some way, they're going to basically make money off it. Because they're going to put it back in the market. They're going to use that debt, probably buy stock. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder?
No, not that. What says the children of Israel? 33. 33.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will press together.
That's right. The children of Israel born into the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. They represent the children of Israel. That is the northern kingdom, the lost 10 tribes of Israel. So it says the children of Israel and Judah, which represents the so-called Negro tribes, were pressed together. And when you look at our history, we we have the same history, man. Being oppressed by the same people, going through the same things, right? Slavery, genocide, you know, the raping of our women, the pillaging of our wealth. That all happened to us, man. When you look at the colonial era, when the so-called white man was conquering the whole planet Earth, what he did to the so-called Negroes and Hispanics and natives, he didn't do it to nobody else, man. Why is it we're the only people that don't speak our original language? Why is it we're the only people whose culture was stripped from us, man? Because the super white man knows that we are the Israelites, man. And he knows that our power stems in calling on the Most High's name, man. So that's why he stripped our language from us, man. He didn't do that with the East Indians, the Arabs, and nobody else, you know? So they know. Go ahead.
Sorry, let me say Psalm 83. They let them cut them off from being a nation.
Yep.
It says, reading on, I'm reading from top. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Thus say the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Yeah, they refused to let us go, man.
Right.
If all Jakes, all Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if we all said, you know what? Fuck you devils, y'all hate us anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do our own thing. We're leaving America. We're just gonna go ahead and go do our own thing. Do you know Esau would declare World War III right there? He would shoot missiles at Jake and drop bombs on us, man? Yeah. He would never allow that, man. Why? Because we're what makes this society flourish, man. Yeah. What would America be without so-called Negroes and Hispanics, man? Who would be building buildings, man? Yeah. Who would be taking care of the roads, sanitation? You know, the caretakers for the old and disabled and mentally disabled, man. Yeah. It's our people.
We're the biggest consumers too.
Yeah, the biggest consumers.
I was just about to say
you know,
that.
so what? Guess what? The Arabs wouldn't make no money. The Chinese wouldn't make no money. Nobody would make no money, man. Yeah. Right? We know America is a third of the world's consumption, and majority of that consumption comes from these people in the sun, man. You know?
You know how you back that up? The powerful Lazarus and the rich man, the dogs came to lick this. All these other nations, they're making capital over Jake. You know? Like Jake is the biggest spenders in this world, man. You know? You get Jake a $50,000 check, he's spending $150,000. You know? Jake don't save shit.
Like during the pandemic, there was this Jake that died over a chain. He got I think he got like 25,000. No, lottery. Yeah, the lottery. Yeah, 25,000. He spent 20 on the chain. You know, he got 25. He spent 20 on the chain, man. That's a nigga for you, man. Jake don't got their priorities straight. You know, Jacob make some money. You know, and be in a hood in an apartment, and Jacob get a foreign car, Mercedes, BMW, paying $3,000-4,000 a month, man.
No food in the fridge.
No food in the fridge, man. Roaches crawling around and shit, but the nigga fly though. You know, $2,000 jeans and shit. But all these niggas is broke, man. Right? Meanwhile, the nigga that got the money, the Edomite, he's walking in the middle of Times Square. You don't even know he's a multi-millionaire, man. You know, with sandals. Look at Amalek. Great example, man. Amalek be walking around, driving them vans, them old vans. You know, pull out the flip phone. Yeah. You thinking, you know, he living humble, but they got millions of dollars, man. Yup. Yeah, this Amalek, this rabbi, he was talking about, you know, having a sermon to his people, telling them, you know, about the Goyim. He's like, yo, when you run the Goyim, don't be talking about making money, you know, because, you know, interest rate go up, you know, because once times get rough, next thing you know, they see that things are still normal for the Jews, then they gonna come for us. He said, yo, don't be talking about you making, you know, $100 million deal here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was talking like it's regular, man. Right? The average Amalekite you see walking around, this is how they living, man. You see them in the neighborhood, you know, Amalek got an apartment, you know, or he live in a building, and you actually think like that's actually where he live. Nah, he gonna get up out of here and go to the suburbs, man. He own these buildings. That's why he come over here, just to take a look. But he lives in the suburbs, man. Multi-million-dollar mansions. You know?
So this world allows him the children of light. You know, the Amalekite, how they live is wise.
because Jake go outside in the fucking projects, Cuban link on, Jesus Peace, chain swinging. Next thing you know, he gets fucking head blown off, man. That's like dangling meat in front of a hungry dog, man. You don't get bit. Amalek, they got tons of all those so-called Jews you see walk up here each and every week. They got money, bro. They got all fucking money. But it don't look like it. That's wise, bro.
It's called liquid.
Yeah, there you go.
And if they don't got no money, they could get some money. You know what I'm saying? They got those banks, those Imlekite banks, they got interest-free loans. I mean, you don't even got to pay it back. Why? Because, you know, it all goes back to the laws and the scriptures. You're not supposed to charge interest onto your neighbor. So they actually think that they're the Israelites, so they're living, you know, there's certain laws that they so-called keep. You know, they don't charge each other interest. You know, hey, they got their own police force, man. Their own police force, their own transportation, everything, man. They're like their own
gated community.
Gated community within the community. Yeah, Amalek.
The ambulance system.
Oh, yeah,
the ambulance thing. You can't honk your horn at a certain time in the neighborhoods. You got those. You can't honk your horn after 9 o'clock.
That's some devil for you, man. Meanwhile, you know, they over there in Brooklyn in the projects, taking Jake children, sex trafficking them. You see what happened? What is it? Last year in Brooklyn, how they uncovered that tunnel. What happened to that? You know, it made the news one time when it first came out, and it was gone. Right? You know,
They swept it under the rug.
Yep. Got that? Matter of fact, you was reading what? Okay, matter of fact, no, let me finish this first. Jeremiah 50, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Yep. No, you bring that after.
I read it already.
You read it already?
Yeah.
You finished?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So you did that. You did that, and then you.
It's a Psalms chapter 73 and verse 3. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked."
Yeah, that's right. When you see, you saw how he's living. You know, you go in certain neighborhoods, man. You know, you go over there in certain neighborhoods in Long Island. You know, where I live, man. He's sort of living it up, man. You know, mansions. You know what I'm saying? Multi-million-dollar mansions. Esau got properties on the lake, properties on the beach. You know. Remember one time I went to do a delivery at an Edomite crib. Nigga, crib looked like a fucking university, man. 3-story, big ass house, man. It looked like I had mad rooms in it, man. That's how Esau living it up, man. You know?
Like Esau look like Solomon. Because like they'll get particular marble walls, marble floors. You know, their sinks is, you know, came from, you know, somewhere in the Far East. Yeah.
Somewhere from Tibet.
Yeah. They got Iranian, Persian rug in their homes. You know what I'm saying?
They come to their cribs and Esau got the big ass statues that cost thousands of dollars, man. I remember one time I went to a crib, bro, nigga had a whole pond, fishes, all types of shit, man. I'm like, damn. You know, and I'm looking at the cribs in the neighborhood. I looked up the owner. The nigga owned the crib next door. He owned 2 houses, and the crib next door was like 17 million, man. You know? Hey, man, Esau got it. So this is why, you know, David, he said he was envious at the foolish, man. Because they don't deserve that, man. That's the people that the Most High hates. Living it up, man.
Hey, bro, let's go back to the blessings. You know, Esau is a blessing also. You see the dual heaven and
Yeah, get that.
the earth.
37.
For a time.
Right, bro.
Because when you go into the blessings, both Jacob and Esau got similar blessings. They both were promised world domination, the fatness of the earth, world domination, the best parts of the earth. But the difference between the both was Esau's blessing would be temporary, while Jacob's blessing would be eternal. That's why Scripture say Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
I got it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 28, straight to the point. Matter of fact, yeah, straight to the point. Therefore the Most High gave thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth.
Yeah, the dew of heaven, because, you know, when it rains, what do you get? You get crops. You know, crops is a form of wealth, man. You know, so this is how Esau got rich, man, by land. You know, to have crops, you need land. You You know, so Esau got land, man. All of America, who owns that? Esau, man. Even if you own your so-called property, you know, you pay the mortgage off, you still don't own that, man. Because the state can still come and say, oh, eminent domain. You know, we need you to move up out of here, man. That's how they built a lot of the highway systems, a lot of, you know, different parks, lakes was through eminent domain. They kicked our people out, and then they built on top of their neighborhoods.
They did that with Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that when Black Wall Street got destroyed in the early 1900s, people don't know that Jake actually built it back up. It wasn't as prominent as it was when it first started. But they had built it back up, and back during the 1950s, you had things like white flight going on. The white people was fleeing from urban neighborhoods when Jake moved in, and he moved into the suburbs, what they call cookie cutter neighborhoods. You know, like when the houses all look kind of like the same. You know, when the houses all look the same, they call those type of cookie cutter neighborhoods real fast.
Gotcha.
But I remember I ran into a book called Classic Hollywood, Classic Whiteness. And in a book, it broke down Hollywood throughout the course of American history and how it played roles in basically social engineering. How Hollywood's imagery reflected what was going on in various points of time. You got that?
Yeah. It says cookie cutter neighborhoods are, it says refer to residential areas where most houses look very similar, often built with using the same floor plans, designs, and materials. These neighborhoods are typically, it says uniformity, houses have nearly identical architecture, layout, size, and sometimes even color. HOA control often governed by strict homeowner association.
Design and color. Remember how when you were young, you watched them cartoons, all of them houses look the same?
Yeah.
That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Or you look at like Ed and Eddie, all the houses look kind of like the same.
Yeah. Even like if you go out and look at Baltimore, you know, all their houses look just alike. Even from the east side of the Baltimore to the west side of Baltimore, Philadelphia, north, south, east, they look the same. Even housing projects, they all built the same way. This different name. It says it says HOA control, often governed by strict homeowner association, rules that regulate house appearance, landscaping, and exterior modifications. It says suburb location, common in suburban areas near cities where large tracts of land can be developed rapidly. It says efficiency driven, built to reduce costs and maximize developer profit with mass produced layout and materials. It says another one, planned development, usually built by a single developer in a short time span.
See that? Like you notice how certain neighborhoods, you got these little, I don't know if I noticed, they'll build these little buildings up and they'll like have a little driveway. Damn, it's like,
Not the townhouse?
Huh?
Not the townhouse.
Nah, it's like a little small apartment building. 3 stories. Like 3 stories.
Yeah. Triplex?
Building the hood somewhere. It'll have like, they all got the same kind of air conditioner.
Yeah.
Right in the Bronx.
Right in the Bronx. Yeah, Friday, Friday, you know what I'm talking about? Same kind of age. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to say the Friday, I don't want to say the age, I don't know what I'm talking about. Shit like that. What you got?
That gave me get deeper because I put what's the history of it? You know, to have a more.
You should be talking about white flight.
You see, because I got one that says the expansion of the American suburb. It says,
right, the suburb, the expansion of the American suburb. Now I believe it's the what is it? The housing. It's some housing organization. I think what it's called. I think it's HUD.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Urban development, housing, urban
I think that's
development.
what it is. But like in the 50s, I think it was like in the 1950s. What's that? Okay. I think it was like in the 1950s. I think they had like $2 billion to build new homes in America. And like less than 2% of that money went to non-white people. They had like $2 billion. Now let's do the math here. What's 10% of $2 billion? 200 million.
yeah,
So what's 1%? 20 million.
yeah.
So less than 2% means less than 40 million. I mean, Esau got basically the other 1.960 million dollars. He got the rest. And that was to building up their communities. That's why during the 1950s, you had movies like Them, Strangers. All of these movies about an alien other coming to invading the earth and destroying the sanctity of life. That really represented Jakes going into white neighborhoods and destroying their communities. That's why, there goes the neighborhood. That's why in the 1950s, those type of sci-fi films were so popular. If aliens, which is another word for strangers or foreigner, coming to the earth to invade it, really represented black people destroying white communities. That really represented. You have more to that? Just to add to what you were saying. Go ahead.
Matter since you said this, since you mentioned the 1950s, it says origins post-World War II, 1940s through the 1950s. It says the key moment, the GI Bill in 1944.
Yeah, GI Bill. When the GI Bill, also known as the Veterans Administration Bill, what happened was they was letting people get free educations and even get land and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you had fought in the war. But you don't know Esau really got, not Jake. And they used that to help them build homes. They used that money to help them own land and build homes like Esau owned the majority of land. Esau tell us to pull ourselves by our bootstrap, but Esau didn't do that. Esau robbed and stole and cheated everybody. Go ahead.
It says, after World War II, millions of returning soldiers needed housing. It reads, the GI Bill offered low-interest home loans to veterans, creating a massive demand for affordable, quickly built homes. And that's
affordable, quickly built homes.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning, like the housing projects. Like when you go into the history, I was really for the veterans after the war. They would move into those homes. So I'm gonna just jump.
We got the baby boomer generation, the 50s. They got the houses, you know, and they inherit those houses, the baby boomers. Yeah. And then now the baby boomers, they got them kids, and now they inherit that, and this is how wealth is passed down.
Just to wrap it up on this, it says it had a cultural impact, became a symbol of the American dream, owning a home, raising a family in a clean, safe area. It says it was criticized for racial segregation. It says black families often denied mortgages in these areas, a lack of individuality and environmental sprawl.
So they lack, Jake's bills not allowed to do it. They have red lines. They would draw red lines or put certain areas red on a map where you won't give home loans. They had blockbusters, or a certain amount of Jake black people in this particular like in one movie. They had racially restricted covenants where the deed in the house would say that this house cannot be owned by anyone of the Negroid or Mongoloid race. So you can only sell it to a white person. He also wanted to keep all the wealth himself. This is going on before, I believe in Chicago and other states, like 90-some-odd% of homes had racially restricted covenants. That's how it was. Esau wanted to keep all the wealth to himself. That's the reason why Esau really got what he got. Crackers didn't work for shit.
It's Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
See? Esau's wealth gonna be laid up for us. Ultimately for us. Yeah, Esau, you got gold over here, you got silver over here. Guess what? We gonna take all of that. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So this is how it's set up. It's called residential segregation. They started to build highways through Jake neighborhoods. And that's what displaced the community. Right? Started building highways through Jake neighborhoods. It's certain terminals before. They started building highways through Jake neighborhoods, man. And that's what happened. That's what displaced the entire community. Imagine they went and built a highway to your neighborhood right now. It's going to displace a bunch of people.
They don't give you enough notice. They might say, 60 days. And damn, I don't got no savings. I don't got nowhere to go. Like, this is my only house. It's my grandmother's house. So now you become homeless, man.
Is it called urban renewal?
Urban renewal. Look it up. Google that.
Now I got it.
Good.
It says urban renewal. From the 1940s to 1970s, promoted by government policies like the Housing Act of 1949, urban renewal aimed to revitalize cities by clearing out what were labeled as blighted areas, often thriving Black, Latino, and immigrant neighborhoods.
See? That's what Esau did, because you had the whole black towns movement that was going on in the 1900s. You had black towns all over the country. Esau said, these black niggas, man, they gotta take their shit. So you know what they did? The urban renewal projects. And this wasn't something some white men woke up in the morning and just did. It's something they've been planning on for years. There was all of it. And it started this urban, urban renewal, we gotta renew these urban environments. Blighted communities. Who do you think was the blight or the spot? Jake. Exactly.
Yep. It says highways were then routed through these communities to connect suburbs to downtowns, prioritizing white suburban commuters over local residents.
See? That's what it's all about. Think about it. You live in a certain area in Brooklyn, you won't get the crimes in Brooklyn. You're in Brooklyn, you won't get crimes. You'll go dirty. You go there selling crack or bum. Then you get to a certain part of crime, that's where the so-called Jews is at. Now it look clean all of a sudden. Now everything is clean. As you walking, damn, you really see a crown fried chicken for on fucking goddamn St. John's. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see a crown fried chicken in 11 blocks. You ain't see a liquor store in 11 blocks. Everything is just different. The streets look a little bit cleaner now.
You got coffee shops now.
You got coffee shops now.
You got trees and shit.
You wake up in the morning, you smelling a fresh scent of a blueberry muffin. Yeah.
Across Bronx.
Yeah.
Across Bronx Express, go right through the Bronx.
See?
Go downtown.
And if you go to certain parts of the Bronx, after you get to a certain point, it don't look ghetto no more. All of the Puerto Ricans disappear. You know what I'm saying? They all disappear. They all start turning into crackers. I'm telling you, they got all of the white areas in every borough.
The further north you go in the Bronx, the better it gets.
Riverdale.
White Plains.
Nah, it was a little more, but
This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree.
Yeah. That's Esau. That's an unrighteous decree. Right? When he says unrighteous, that's an unrighteous decree. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, man. They still don't give it, don't give a damn about the people. They're gonna rob the people. That's what Esau is all about. You're gonna rob the people, man. And then at a certain point, the McDonald's, all of them fast restaurants, they start disappearing. And no coincidence, it's in the environment where people don't got a bunch of diabetes. They don't got a bunch of obesity. They don't got a bunch of high blood pressure. And guess what? Those things kill Jake, man.
Yep.
Those things result in Jake's demise.
The juice shops. Good neighborhoods.
Yep, the juice shops. Yeah, they got the juice shops. You got the nigger supermarket around the corner. This is a nigger supermarket. You go in there, it's fucking Wonder Bread. It's a cat on fucking bread. Or shit is expired. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's goddamn, it's like going into a Dollar Tree in the hood. You go to a Dollar Tree in the hood, you got empty boxes of gloves on the floor. You got all the fucking aisle look all fucked up. Because Jake started to develop a ghetto mentality living in the ghetto. Yeah. I remember one time this brother told me he was in a job with some dude and they was on lunch break and the dude was eating a piece of chicken. And then the dude threw the chicken bone on the floor and the brother told me, he said, somebody today, he said, it's too clean out here. Remember you told me that? The nigga said it's too clean out here. You started to develop a ghetto mentality. I'm saying, yeah, you might be walking through and eat in my neighborhood. You want to take a piss, but you're like, damn, somebody might call the cops on me.
That's fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
Near school and shit.
Exactly.
You get charged.
Exactly. Somebody might call the cops on me, man. Real shit. But this is what it is, man. Niggas used to slime and grind, so they started to live like slime and grind.
We've been brought low. We've been destroyed as a people.
You go to Jake neighborhoods, you go to elevator or staircase. Shit.
Used condoms.
The same one they gotta use, bro.
Yeah, same one they gotta do. And these niggas that put in the hood to do that shit.
I see this shit.
Niggas so bugged out. Niggas wanna be in violent neighborhoods. Niggas wanna be, it's good out here, sir. Shit. I mean shit, my niggas do shit. And I'm saying shit. What up, shit? You know the type of nigga, man. You gotta look at him like, you watch this nigga hands, moving his hands a little too much. One of them kind of niggas, man. I'm saying shit real out here. You know one of these niggas. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of talking doing this shit. Right or wrong? You got niggas that's like that.
They be doing the vlogs, niggas doing interviewing. They be acting like it's the best thing in the world. Like, yeah, shit's real out here, man. We got such and such over here. Nigga got shot over here. Like, just bragging about it, man.
Niggas be, no lie, I think, no lie, secretly, bro, I think niggas want their friends to die so they can say they got their own.
That's a fact.
I'm dead serious. Damn, so one of these niggas gotta die so I can rap about it in the song. Come on, nigga, die. Like, what the fuck? He'll take him to the hospital the long way so he can rap about it in the song. It's not bullshit. But that's what niggas do. Niggas worship Ram and they worship slime, brother. That's what it is. But Esau's policy back then is what got us where we are today. That's what I gotta say.
That's right. Isaiah to the 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Yeah, right. Grievousness which they have prescribed, man. All this devil's laws is grievous, man. You know, here it is. You already got to pay all these bills. You got to pay tolls, all that type of shit. You come here in New York, now it's, you got to pay congestion prices, man. Yeah. You know, this shit is oppressive, man. Yeah. The price for the Metro card goes up while they never fix the subway, man. It gets worse and worse by the year, but the price for the tickets go up, man. You know? Yeah. So they write grievousness which they have prescribed. So they sit, they plot on it, and then they pass the bill, man. You know, and nobody has a say so about it. If this was truly a democracy, why can't people vote against the different laws and bills that get passed, man? That shows you that you don't get no say so, man. You know, it's a dictatorship. You know.
Right. If I may say, at one point I was studying BG, aka Bill Gates, and he said he would leave 9 to 5 and go home and just study. He was studying us. And Spirit had me say he was just studying all the things about us. That's why he's able to do all these things. And he's in charge of the 4 Nightingale. He's the one that pushed that. You know? And everything is about getting at us. They know who we are. They know who we are as a nation. So right now he's pushing that seer. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and they clashing with each other, but soon they're gonna all come to one mind. All right, are we done?
You still speak.
That was the point. I got one. I got another verse. That was the point.
No, that's okay.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
This is Psalms chapter 94, verse 20. Should the throne of iniquities have fellowship with thee? And Salaki, which frameth mischief by a law?
Yeah, that's right. So the throne of iniquity, which is the so-called white man's power structure, right? You know, the elites, the bankers, that's the throne of iniquity. The scripture say what? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. And when the wicked multiply, transgression increase. So that's the throne of iniquity. So David is asking, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? These people ain't right, man. You know? They're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. But look how they living, man. Right. They got trillions of dollars. You know? Esau could have breakfast in one continent, hop on a private jet and get to another continent. You know? Brag about going on a shopping spree in Paris. Yeah, we just go shopping in Paris, come right back to LA, man.
Yeah, you remember that show called The Fabulous Life of?
Yeah.
It's come on VH1. Yep. And there's to have like one dude, I don't remember who he was, but they lived somewhere like in Cali or something like that. Yeah. His kids wanted to play in the snow. He called some company up to get snow from some state.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they drove the snow all the way to the crib and dumped shit in the yard and kept playing in the snow.
Right. I remember
Crazy, bro.
That's money, man. That's how Esau living, man. You worried about bills, you worried about, you know what I'm saying? You go to the store, you know, they ask you, such and such, let's say $5.50. Yeah. I got $5.47. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you try to get away with shit like that. Ishmael, like, nah, brother. You know what I mean? That's how it is, man. Well, Esau paid $10. He give you a tip, man. Yeah. I remember one time I was doing delivery. I go to Esau building all the way to the Bay House, man. Nigga had left me $100 tip. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how Esau living, man. I'm like, yo, they probably do this shit every day. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Probably make $50,000 a month.
Yeah. Apartments probably that much. You got apartments in the city that's millions of dollars, man. Worth millions of dollars.
And right down there, I used to work I used to work security in the fucking whatever in retail, man. Managers, a lot of their rents were like $4,000 or $5,000 a month already. What did this Esau, bro? Esau. Yeah, bro. Esau got old money, man. You know, Esau ain't hurting like you brothers are. Like we are. Fuck, like I'm not hurting. You know, they got good credit. You know, remember, this is their society, man. So they're built to thrive in their fucking society, bro. You know, everything in this place is built for them to move forward, not you. It's built for you. Just like when we get our society, it's built for us to move forward and to keep them down. It's gonna be a flip, man.
They still got good credit. You know, cake, sweet eggs. I mean, organic bread. You know what I'm saying? Alkaline water.
Don't scriptures say, thy dew shall be the fatness of the earth? That's their blessing, man. They have a Lord bless them with that, man. So they got every fucking thing, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Sure.
You know, we get the hand-me-downs.
Even in certain countries, the Latin tribe countries, Latin tribe that's like lighter, they live in better environments.
They're looked at better, especially around Simeon, which I think Dominicans, let me say that, are like the dumbest Israelites out there, man. They're like the dumbest Israelites, man. You know, that's why they call them dummy in the kids, man. You know, I remember a Dominican told me one time, he said, yeah, you know, we're made up of the conquistadors, the white people, and this and that. They all get together. Like, how the fuck does that make sense, man? You know, and DR, the lighter skin you are, you know, like you said, the better you are to people, man. You know, the more respect you get. That's why they lay with white men to get that little pale skin. They go back home and flex on everybody, man.
Some of them can't even speak proper English, man. If you think about it, Dominicans really didn't start coming to the country a lot until the 80s. So a lot of them, they like, you could be 38 years old, but
I'm sorry, so like the early 90s, late 80s, roughly around there. Because the Puerto Ricans were here already. I was growing up with Puerto Ricans, and the Dominicans came right after, and the Puerto Ricans didn't even like the Dominicans. But I'm still like my man say, and they was dark like us, man. And for the Dominicans, when I was playing baseball with them, they fight with the Puerto Ricans, then they want to fight with the Morenos, and they had a name for us. Up in the Bronx, right in the Bronx, man.
Right. This is a quick disclaimer, and that's no insult to you giving the truth that are Simeonites, man. You know what I'm saying when I said that slap.
If you think about it, a lot of them started coming like around 80s, late 80s, they both since like early 90s around that time. That's why a lot of them don't bring no English, you know? But think about it, you're not going to hear no 30-year-old Ephraimite with an accent. Right or wrong? When last time you heard a 30-year-old Ephraimite with an accent? When last time you heard a 30-year-old Dominican with an accent? When you went to the corner to the fucking store. You got out your fucking car, you heard 2 years ago. He might be 28 years old. Right or wrong? Because they ain't been here that long, but they actually like generation. Like I said, but it's more common for you to find a Puerto Rican down in those Spanish than a Dominican down in those Spanish. Right or wrong? Puerto Ricans are known as a Latin group that don't Spanish. They've been here since 40.
They came up with us. That's what proved that Ephraim and Judah came up together. And Rehoboam and Jericho.
Ephraim is one of the realest tribes when it comes to like, you know, being kind to Judah, man. Ephraimite families, they'll embrace you, man. You know, I love Ephraim, man. And Ephraim and Benjamin, the lands was close to each other.
Yep, they're the youngest.
That's why you always see an Ephraimite with a Benjamin. Hell, my son is Ephraimite. Whatever. His mom's an Ephraimite.
I remember my brother used to live in the Bronx years ago. High Lincoln brothers, and they was living in the Bronx years ago. They used to go to like Simeon and restaurants. They used to like they used to get them dirty looking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. I can believe it. But you got some of them that look like you brothers. I mean, a couple of times someone came up to me speaking Spanish. Say, if I know a word, they say, once, that means 8. Yeah, I want 8 of them. Yeah. But I don't make those things like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and even with that, you know, brother was going into a lot of lighter.
One says 11. Excuse me. Yeah. Ocho is 8.
Yeah, how the lighter complexion Northern Kingdom, how they look better than the other Israelites. Well, a lot of the lighter Northern Kingdoms, they're descendants of Esau. You know, a lot of them
better than who?
They're living better than the Jakes, the darker Jakes, you know, in South America. But a lot of them is actually Edomites. You know, a lot of them is actually Spaniards. When you look into it, a lot of the wealthy so-called South Americans and Hispanics that have so-called businesses or stuff like that in South America, their line goes back to Esau or another nation. You know, like we was talking about Simeon, the president of DR. He's not even a Simeonite, man. That nigga's Syrian. His pops is Syrian. Well, but his mother is Simeon. You know, but that's how Esau operates. He'll set up, you know, them leaders, the ruling class in them Jake countries to be either Edomites or heathen nations. Or you'll never have an actual Jake actually owning and controlling shit, man. You go to Jamaica, you go to Haiti, who's controlling the businesses, man? Moab, Elam, Ishmael, Esau. It's never Jake, man. You know, that's how you know we're the same people, man, blacks and Hispanics.
You were saying earlier, you know, Native American schools, all of them teaching you white. Yeah. You were saying that earlier.
Psalms chapter 94, verse 21. They gather themselves together against the souls of the righteous.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Esau's hell bent on persecuting the Israelites, right? You see, when they're talking about illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, the first people that come to mind is so-called blacks and Hispanics. They don't talk about the Chinese, the Arabs, right? The so-called East Indians. It's always our people, man. You know, those concentration camps, those detention camps, it's filled with so-called Hispanics, man. You know, what do they call it? The alligator Alcatraz. Who's in there? None but Northern Kingdom, man. You got this Northern Kingdom. He got his papers. He calling from there. He's like, yo, listen, man. Mosquitoes size of elephants. He's like, yo, they don't feed us. You know. He said, they don't let us sleep. You know, I haven't slept in 3 days. So who they doing that to, man? Jake, man. You know, the bodies that's being washed in the lakes, and I think like over 30 bodies. And it's so-called Hispanic immigrants, man, with hands tied behind their backs. So they getting them on the planes, and they just pop open the back of the plane and just dropping them out, man. You know, get out of here, man.
Why they not doing? What happened to the Iranian sleeper cells?
Yeah.
Why they not doing that to them? You know, I'm showing you Psalms 83, man. Yes. All these nations, they conspire against Jake, man. You know, Esau, he'll fuck us up before he touch any other nation, man. Yeah. Because truthfully, we are the enemies of all those nations, man.
These crackers, they just been wanting to kill. Yeah. You know? Like, damn, let me kill this one. And he's a little nervous, so he kicked the land travel off the helicopter with his eyes closed, like, yeah. He's a little scared, like, push him. And then he see there was nothing to it. Yeah. And he just start throwing him over. You know, they might throw one in the air so the helicopter will cut his head off. I'm telling you, these crackers the same devil that was destroyed back in the day.
They started to come back to that old spirit. Man. You know, Esau's starting to show you that old slavery, nigger spirit, man. You know, Trump he's definitely scoring. Oh yeah, that's Hellboy, bro. That motherfucker Orange is brolic right now, man. He don't give a fuck, man. He's bypassing Congress. Fuck out the way, I'm killing these niggas, man. No, that's why I was going to say the devil shall be like a madman sparing none, man. You know? Fucking Trump is like what do you call that? Like a coyote with fucking rabies right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Lamentations chapter 2, verse 15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their hands at the daughters of Jerusalem.
Yeah, like you see, you go on like you go on them Twitter feeds, you know, whatever, you know, it'll be Jake, and you have Esau comment, what is it, usual suspects, you know, and then, you know, they talk shit on Jake,
The water.
you know.
Oh, I see that shit too.
Yeah, right?
A Jacob robber, I'm good. A Jacob robber, a convenience store. Usual suspects.
Yeah, usual suspects. Meanwhile, he done robbed the whole entire planet Earth, man. You know, they like to talk about black on black crime. What about white on world crime, man? You know, Jake, we kill each other. You kill everybody, man. You know, even people that got no beef with you, man. You just smoking, man. Just dropping bombs on them. Look what you doing to them Palestinians, man. Them niggas don't got no guns, no nothing. They can't even fight back. Them niggas just bombing them every day, man. I mean, fuck them, but, you know, damn, man. How are we the criminals, man?
He served by no mercy.
No mercy, man. You had one of them goddamn Amalekites, well, like 2 years ago, she came to New York, and she said the biggest threat to Jewish people is the black African American. Meanwhile, Iran is the biggest op. They done destroyed Israel with all them damn missiles, man. But we're the biggest threat to the Israelis. How? What is Jake doing? What power do so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans have, man? We can't put hands on a so-called Jew. If Jake was to ever do that, man, they would bring the whole army on Jake, man. Air Force dropping bombs, B-52, dropping bunker buster on niggas, man. You know? So how are we a threat, man? That shows you how these devils, they know we're the Israelites, man. The reason we're a threat is because Jake is waking up, man. You go on random posts, you see an Israelite comment on there, man. Maybe something random, man. You go on there, it could be a World Star, YouTube, whatever, social media, you go in a comment, you will see a Jake on there, man, Israelite, man. You know, and that's prophecy. The scriptures tell you about the dry bones waking up. You know, the dry bones have woken up, man. Esau got a problem, man. Even Trump, remember in his first presidency, he was talking about the prophets of doom. He said, I think he was talking to them Europeans or something like that. He said, I have, you know, we all have them or something like that. So they know this word is global, man. And they're watching. They got a database and everything, man. And they were getting ready to make their move, man. Trump, he's the guy to do that, man. If anybody was going to do it, it's him, man. The way he's moving, erratic, you know. He said one thing, do something else. You know, he's the man that the Most High chose to bring the downfall of this place.
If I may say, when his first term, he came out in front of the media, and he had a Bible in his hand like this. I don't know if your president saw that. He was just standing there with a Bible during his first term. I remember that. He was just standing there like this. It's the Bible, just like this. That's how you know who the real people are. He was just standing there.
I got a precept.
And he was talking about the prophets of doom. And you know.
Yep. That's right. Going into that, this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. It reads, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it."
Yeah, that's right. So, come near, ye nations, to hear, man. Hearken to what? These prophecies. You know? This is what you're going to do, Moab. Vladimir Putin, you're going to have that evil thought. Right? That's what they're supposed to hear, man. And they can't do nothing to stop it. Here it is, we're telling them what they're going to do. And they still do it, man. Right. They can't help it, man. You know? It's already written in their program, man. The Most High already have predestinated them to this lot, man. Right? So,
quick precept. This is Matthew 24:14. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come."
Yeah, so the gospel had to be preached before the end comes, man. And the gospel is not goddamn Christianity, man. Because if that was the gospel, then shit, then there's never gonna be the end, man. You know, we've been waiting. You know, Christianity since the 300s with Constantine. You know, this shit been established for eons, man. We ain't seen the end. But you see that ever since the apostles came on the scene, things have started to happen, man. Every year, things have intensified, man. You know, the whole thing with Israel and Iran. Who was the first ones to say it, man? The apostles, man. They said World War III was starting between Iran and Israel, man. Right? So this is the message that the nations are listening to, man. The Most High told Jeremiah, "I made you a prophet to the nations." So we're not only prophets to our people, but to everybody, to the whole world. Right? Try it out.
Yep. It's Isaiah 34:2. But the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them.
I got it, Charlie.
He have delivered them to the slaughter.
And this is all going into World War III, man. Armageddon. The war to end all wars. The Most High is going to deliver these nations to the slaughter, man. This is why you see all these armies are being amassed over there in that region, man. Matter of fact, somebody get there, Joel, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. You know, all the armies are being sent there. You know, you got, of course, the armies that's already there, but you got U.S. troops being sent in different key regions. You got the Moab is sending troops over there. North Korea said they're going to commit troops to Iran to help them fight. So this is all the Heavenly Father's doing, man. Right? To bring upon them slaughter, man. You know, by the way of these missiles, man. Just like how the Most High gathered Pharaoh's army, you know, brought them in that middle of the sea and then brought the water on them. This is the Most High spiritually doing the same thing, man. Gathering the armies there just to bring the flood of fire on their asses.
Right. I got to add on too. Because it says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Meaning what? The Lord's righteous anger. Why is he angry with all these other nations, these heathen nations? Because we mentioned it before. All you heathen nations, beginning with, you know, the chief nation, Esau, Edom, you have played a part of Israel's downfall. You have violently oppressed Israel, spiritually, mentally, physically. So the Lord is angry with all you nations, man. You other nations participated in the slave trade. You other nations profited off of the so-called black man and so-called Latino Native American downfall, man. All right, so the Lord is angry. You know?
Yeah, real quick. I know you had mentioned about Iran. Iran is currently attacking American bases, and like you know, the brother beautifully brought out about Pharaoh. And if you notice anything about what happened in Pharaoh, Pharaoh kept attempting to push the Israelites out, but the Most High hardened his heart. The only reason why Iran is attacking bases and not killing soldiers is because he understands that a direct attack against American troops is going to enact Article 5, which is going to bring in NATO members to this war, which in turn, they know that nuclear war is right around the corner. That's the only reason why Iran is not more aggressive with their attacks in retaliation. But the Most High is going to harden Iran's heart, and it's going to be a full-blown war.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because they said Iran already got the capability to fight in Israel. Because they already got over 50,000 missiles. They said they could shoot missiles non-stop at Israel for 2 years straight every day, man. So if they wanted to, they could have. But it's the Most High holding back the winds, man. Revelation, the 7th chapter. The Lord said he will hold back the winds until the elect is sealed.
It's like you saw before you get the scripture. You show you that when Iran was firing off their oldest missiles, and it was going right through the Iron Dome. And they ain't even shoot off their supersonic missiles.
No.
So it's just showing you that the Most High really got them in the truth. I got something.
Who was reading?
I was reading.
Oh, let me finish that.
It reads verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all,
they're going into the missiles, man. Going into that fire. You know, melting mountains, melting people, melting all the elements, man. Right? You're gonna have bodies that get straight up eviscerated, turn to dust, and the ones that's outside of the ground zero, they're gonna get burnt up. You know? Because not everybody, all the armies gonna get wiped out. You know, only the ones in ground zero. If you're outside of that ground zero, you basically feel the fire, but you don't get fully consumed. You know? So go ahead.
It reads, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
Going into the mushroom clouds, man, from the missiles. All the hosts of heavens, all the elements, the armies, all of that, man. Because every element has a melting point. You learned that in chemistry, man.
Right.
Every element has a melting point, including the air. So that shows you how much intense the heat is going to be for it to melt the very air that we breathe, right? You know?
Right, all the water.
Yep, the water too.
Evaporates. I believe the missile is called equilibrium, so it equalizes its temperature. Anything it hits. And they said that a nuclear warhead is as hot as the center of the sun. So
Same equator.
servant. So like,
Check this out, though. It's weird you mention that because we spoke of this before. You go on Google, type in effects of nuclear explosion, and you go on Wikipedia. It tells you that when a missile shot, when a nuclear explosion occurs, everything heats up to an equilibrium temperature of the missile. They say it could be as hot as like the surface of the sun. It could be like billions of degrees, tens of millions. Something like that. Check this out. The air, water, rocks, whatever, heats up to an equilibrium temperature. That's why those things just evaporate. Just vent. Remember Zechariah? It says the eyes will consume away in their hole, the tongue will consume their mouth.
yep. So y'all believe if you heat metal up to a certain temperature, it vaporizes. Like it would completely disappear, like consume. Like how water would, like how you would boil water. So imagine a nuclear missile heating up the lands of a, you know what I'm saying? Most High is bad with his level of destruction.
You got something called something they call the demon core, which is around the time when Esau, right after the atomic bomb, Esau had made a few cores, and like the ones that wasn't used, it was studying them in university, so-called scientists and shit. And then you have 2 cases of Edomites that was like studying it, and you know, they ended up fucking up. One of them, he left a screwdriver close by it, and this shit ended up falling inside of that shit, and it was a blue flash in the room, and pretty much the dude ended up dying a slow, grievous death, man, because it's basically high levels of radiation. You know, it was a blue flash. It wasn't even like he got burnt or nothing. It was a flash in the room. Next thing you know, his head started falling down. He started getting sick. There was some Edomites that was studying something called demon core. It's like some they put the plutonium in, you know, during the time of when it was going after the atomic bombs were dropped. So Esau was studying it to find out how it works and shit like that. Screwdriver fell in there. This shit closed. It was a flash, and the dude ended up suffering one of the most grievous deaths. His organs failed. His skin started peeling off. You know, his hair fell off. He couldn't talk. He went blind. You know. Go ahead.
2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That's right, which is going into World War III. It's not going to be, you know, like you're expecting it, you know, or the missiles are going to be shot on this day or on that date, you know, until you got 2 weeks to get out of America. No, it's going to be on the sudden, man. Yeah. You know, like a thief in the night. Like you know, how niggas be, you know, partying, you know, they're having a block party, and the next thing you know, it's a whole shootout. Everybody running and ducking, man. That's how it's going to be in the day of the Lord, man. People are going to be, the scripture says it's going to be like the days of Noah. You know, you're still going to have business, right? You're going to have the people that take the chip, still buying and selling. You know, things are going to look like it's going back to normal. Shit, we could go back to the movies again. We could go back to clubbing. We got our chip, you know, partying and living it up, man. And the next thing you know, hey, listen, get to your nearest bunker. You got 5-10 minutes. You know, what can you do in that time, man? That's why a lot of people just go straight up drop dead, man. Scripture say men's hearts are gonna fail them for fear, man. Yeah. You know?
It could be like a blackout. You see how like we prophesying right now? It could just be a blackout, the internet's out, men is at work. You know what I'm saying? It can happen anytime. The dollar could crash right there. They ain't making you know, world news, like the dollar's crashed. It can happen anytime. That's why you always gotta stay occupied. You know, and measure the times diligently. You know what I'm saying? Be circumspect. Be soberly minded. Because it can happen anytime. You know? Like you said, like in the days of Noah, they're going to still be drinking. You know, people going to still be, you know, drinking Don Julio, Henny. You know, they're going to still be living life. Right.
Which is pronounced Specca. Stupid ass niggas. Well, get some Specca. You know what I'm saying? Right on. Yeah. Ain't that what niggas call it?
Niggas gonna get that Georgie.
It could be a block party. You know? It could just
Baby
go down.
shower, weddings. No? Matter of fact, somebody hold that too. Finish, bro.
Shit, could be a blackout when you're on a roller coaster upside down.
No, that's a fact.
And then you
Crazy,
die from
bro.
blood rushes to your head. What's not giving you like that?
Of which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And that right there, you listening to all of that, what should come to mind is the nuclear explosion, man. You know? It could be hundreds of miles away, even 1,000 miles away, you can still see that light, man. You see that flash, and then like a couple seconds later, depending on how far it is, you hear the sound. There's no light travels faster than sound, you know, and then the radiation fallout. You know, it kills everything in the vicinity, man. Everywhere it travels.
But yeah, if you're unfortunate to hear the noise, you'll be fortunate to not hear it and get hit.
Yeah, Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, because they said it's like it. When a bullet travels, it's like you only hear it after it passes you. You know, and if you get hit, you didn't hear it. You know. So that's the same thing, a nuclear missile.
That's why, like, after they start, you hear the noise, they start dapping themselves up. You know what I'm saying?
Says shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
That's right. So the elements is gonna melt, man. Right? Just like during the flood, everybody got affected by the flood. Everybody gonna feel this fire, man. Some one way or another. You might be on the most remote part of the earth. You could be in Antarctica, the North Pole. You still gonna feel a form of that fire, whether it be the heat itself, whether it be the radiation cloud, whether it be the earthquake, because the whole earth is gonna reel to and fro. And that's another thing too. It's gonna be tsunamis, earthquakes. You know, the ground's gonna split open, swallow, you know, certain areas up. And it's gonna look crazy, man. The flood wasn't just, it just rained and that was it. The flood was devastating, man. The scriptures say the fountains of the deep will open up. That means water just busting out the ground, man. You could have had a whole city over there, man. And the water just busts out, just people just wiped out, you know. Yeah, geyser, you know. And according to Esau, they said there's more water in the ground, underneath the ground, than there is on the surface, than the oceans and everything, man. You got Esau that like to downplay the flood, saying, there's not enough water for a flood to happen. What about the water on the ground, man?
The water came from the heavens.
Yeah, yep.
You know, in the heavens you got parts of oxygen and hydrogen.
Yep.
So guess what? In the heavens, they formed in elements. You had it coming out all the way from the heavens. You know, they even found places in space where there's water.
Yeah, so in this new flood, you're gonna have fire come from the ground too. Gas pockets, volcano eruptions. You know, spread out.
Yeah, that's why look at the map, see the continents, and it kind of all fit together like a puzzle. But from the flood, it was so great that it broke up the earth like that.
They call it the Pangea.
Right.
And even Esau got documentaries on Amazon Prime. There's one called The Flood. I think the fourth part. You know, Esau brings out all types of scientists going into it, and they show you, man, you got whale fossils on top of Mount Everest, on top of the highest mountains, man. All marine fossils. How is that possible?
Esau said, thousands of years ago, the water levels was billions of years ago. The water levels was just so high. Crack ass up, crack.
You know, the ice age and give it a name and shit.
And all kinds of countries across the world got flood stories. Like it's hundreds of flood stories all over the world. Remember we spoke about this before. You had China calls them engineer. Indians call them it was Sharma, Harma, and Yafet. That's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And I forget what the main guy name was. His main guy started with Manu. That's his name, Manu, M-A-N-U. And it tells you when you read it, but the story is a little bit different. It tells you that like it was a small fish that came like to warm up the flood or something along the lines. And first the fish was small enough to like fit in the tank for them, like a little fit in a jar, let's say. And then it got bigger and it could fit into like a small lake. Then it got even bigger and it could fit in an ocean lake. And he used that to get out. And him, his sons, and their wives all fled. They even took some seeds to populate the earth. But that's different than the biblical story. Why? You gotta remember, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, when they repeopled the earth after the flood, the story of the flood was passed down orally. You understand? So all of these different nations got that story. But what happened, it got lost in translation. Some of the things that they were told, they forgot. They added stuff. So when the Bible came on the scene, Moses came to Moses, I am Moses. Here's the real rundown how it actually happened. There was no talking fish. It happened like this. There was no, you can look up the Atrahasis, the Epic of Gilgamesh, you can find it there too. You know what I'm saying?
Right here. It says, I looked up flood stories in different civilizations. It said flood stories appear in the mythology of records of many ancient civilizations across the world. Although details vary, the core elements, divine judgment, destruction by water, survival of a chosen few are remarkably consistent. It says, here's an overview of some key flood myths across different cultures.
There ain't no myths.
It says,
unless it's not coming out the Bible. If it's from the Bible,
it says, Mesopotamia. It says the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest recorded flood stories. It says Utnapishtim is warned by the god Ea to build a boat to survive a great flood sent by the gods to destroy humanity. He saves his family and animals, mirroring the story of Noah.
Sent by the gods. Moses said no, there was no gods. It was just me, I alone. So he gave Moses the real rundown. So people say, oh, listen, man. The Bible comes from this, you come from that, nigga. No, dickhead. Before the children of Israel, before we even established as a nation, those nations were already established. Let's speak about Babylon in the 10th chapter, or the 10th chapter of Genesis. Speak about Egypt in Genesis. Don't speak about Israel yet. We didn't even have our own land. So nations were already established before us. So when they got these words sent down to them orally from their foreparents, they were the first ones to put it down in stone. So they got the tablets first. They got the scroll, so to speak, first to write it down. But when Moses came on the scene, Moses came on the scene, Moses said, I'm going to give you the real rundown of how it really happened. Here's how it really went down. There were no gods, it was just me. There was no talking fish, it was me. There was no Manu, there was no nepotism, there was none of that shit. There was no.
See? Yep. And the other one is the Greeks. It says Deucalion Impera. It says Zeus floods the earth to wipe out wicked humans. The Deucalion Impera, warned by Prometheus, survived by building an ark. After the flood, they repopulate the earth by throwing stones over their shoulders that turn into humans. And then it goes into the Hindu, the Manu and the fish. You know, it says Manu and the fish. Manu is warned by a fish, an incarnation of the god Vishnu, of an impending deluge, which is a flood. It says he builds a boat and ties it to the fish, surviving the flood with seeds and animals. The flood subsides and life is restored. And I'm gonna get this.
That's the one I was just talking about.
It says the Chinese. It says Gun Yu myth. A great flood lasts generations. Gun tries to stop it using magical soil and fails. His son Yu succeeds by dredging and channeling the waters. Yu becomes a cultural hero and founder of the Jia dynasty. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So there's hundreds of these flood stories, man. And the only reason why they printed the Bible to those of nations that were already established before we were. So they already wrote it down. It's like a dude that, you know, hypothetically speaking, it's like a dude that's in jail. And everybody, you know, niggas on the internet be talking about, yo, yeah, this nigga back in 87, he was running around like this and that. It's like a nigga on the internet telling your story before you people tell your story. And now that you say this, I'm talking about story that I've been saying, here's how it really happened. That's the most I did. No information goes down to the most I gave us the little account.
That's right.
This little point, what you're saying about the Chinese alphabet and number is a boat. It's eight people, vessel, and eight people all together makes a boat.
That's kind of right. Yep. That's an old school one.
In fact, you go to Turkey right now. The government of Turkey already acknowledges the area, the Mount Ararat, like the scripture say, that that's the area of Noah's Ark. They got a whole site and everything where they find the wood, the gold from wood under the ground, everything, right? You know?
And it's shaped just like a boat.
Yeah, like a boat, yep.
And in some stories, the boat is shaped even different. Some stories, they say the boat's like a square shape. Some say it's like a shape of a sphere, like a ball. You know? You got it back.
I had 2 Peter 1:16, since y'all going into that. 2 Peter 1:16, we have not followed cunningly devised fables, when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, or eyewitnesses of his majesty.
Yeah, that's right. No cunningly devised fables, man. And that's what these other nations, they do, man. Cunningly devised fables. You know, they just freestyle, making up shit, man. You know? Look at the East Indians, man. Them niggas just be freestyling, man. Them East Indians turn anything to a damn god, man. You know, make up a whole story. Next thing you know, he got a whole temple, man. You know? So we are not follow cunningly devised fables, man. Stories about the scriptures, like they talk about Christmas. That's a fable, man. That's not scriptural. Virgin birth, that's a cunningly devised fable, man. Those are not scriptural, man. So what happened is, I believe it was during the Council of Nicaea, that in order for them to bring different groups of people to the religion, they had to keep a portion of what they used to believe before to include it in the new religion. So this is how you get all those pagan holidays, man. You know? Yeah, yep. Like Muhammad, you know, that's how he did with the Arabs. He brought in this new religion, but what? He still kept the crescent moon. You know what I'm saying? He kept the Kaaba stone. Those are the gods that them damn Arabs used to worship before. You see? So those are cunningly devised fables. They strategize it, they plan it out, and then you know they go on with it, man.
Feed it today, generations and generations, and they all lost. They ain't got the truth.
Yep. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, because matter of fact, Muhammad, if I'm not mistaken, Muhammad was from a place where they worship the moon god.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, from a place where they worship the moon gods. Yeah. In fact, tell me today, I've been Muhammad, Islam, moon god. I think you can find actual idols of it in the images. You know what I'm saying?
These heathens, they're always gonna try to mangle the truth, man. And what proves that is when Israel went into captivity and you had them heathens come into the land, they were given the laws by a Levite, but then what happened was they started bringing in their own laws and order and kind of intermingled the two, you know. So it just shows you the mindset. The spirit ain't dealing with them to have 100% truth.
Romans, let's start at 20.
Romans chapter 1, verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creator of the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his internal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
Yeah, so pretty much, you know, the invisible things of the Most High from the beginning, going into, you know, the elements, the Most High creating everything. You see this whole world, how orderly the whole planet Earth is, the whole universe. That right there is already proof of a creator. And then not only that, the things that spoken of, the accounts in the scriptures, there's proof to back them up too. You know, you can go into archaeology to back certain things up in the scriptures, like the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, like the story of the Egyptians, the plagues of Egypt. You got the Egyptian papyrus that describes the 10 plagues that the Most High sent on us. You know, you got the Syrians, the Persians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans. Each of them have records about the Israelites, and some of the records, for example, I think it was I think it was the Babylonian king that had one of these kings as a tributary, and it was confirmed later on and recently.
Yeah, one of the kings, right?
Yeah, one of the kings. Yeah, he had him as he took out the original king and he planted him there. I forgot which one it was.
It's something in the 20-something chapter. Actually, so.
Well, pretty much Esau found proof of that. They went into the Babylonians. The king had an actual stone that he used to write history on, and he mentioned that exact king. You know, in the scriptures, he said, "Yeah, I got him as my tribute. I conquered this Jerusalem. He pays me this much." And then there's an image of the Jews bound to the Babylonians, man. I believe it's either Babylonians or the Assyrians. You know, I forgot exactly. But yeah, man. So that's what this is going into, man. You don't got no excuse because there's all types of proof showing that the Bible is real, man. Right? So when the judgment comes, ain't gonna be no, oh, I didn't know. You're gonna know, man. The prophets was out, you know. You got all the, you know, if you were so-called into studies, that's the studies to prove that. So you don't got no excuse, man. Right? That's why when Yahweh shall return, it's gonna be nothing but judgment.
Romans 3:1. What advantage then have the Jew, or what profit if there is there of the circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High.
Yeah, the oracles of the Most High, the visions, man, the prophecies, man. That was only given to Israel. Yeah. The Most High ain't never dealt with a heathen, man. Well, he did, you know, to a certain extent, or he'll show him a vision and stuff like that. But as far as like personally opening up his eyes to where he see revelation, giving them breakdowns, no, man.
Yeah. Also the history. Like you see when we spoke about that earlier, Genesis.
Yep.
You know how the earth was really formed.
Yep.
Because everybody had was, you know, skeptical about how it was, but he gave Moses, you know, the rundown. Yeah. And he also told Moses things that Moses couldn't share with the rest of the people. That's right. That, Lord will, we're gonna get in the kingdom. Yeah. That's right. Because there was information that was held back that Moses couldn't share. Yeah. So it's a lot of things that Moses know that we don't know, and shit the world doesn't know right now.
Might have been Zedekiah. I was thinking about that. Yeah, because just real brief. 2 Kings 24:17 says, "And the king of Babylon made Mattaniah his father's brother king in his stead, and changed his name to Zedekiah." So that might be what you're talking about. I'm sure. Yeah, man. So you know.
Oh, I got it. Yep. Okay, it's called the Black Obelisk of Salmanasser. It says. Yeah, the Assyrian, yep. This is a tall black limestone monument showing King Jehu of Israel bowing before the Assyrian king Salmanasser. And it says, reads the tribute of Jehu, son of Omri, and lists silver, golden vessels, and other luxury goods. So basically backs up the story of the scriptures, man. Right? So there's all kinds of proof, man. So nobody ain't gonna have no excuse. You got something?
I'll read that again. Romans 3:2, much every way. Chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High.
The oracles, man. The visions, man. Right? He shows his word unto Jacob. They have not dealt with any other nation, man. And his judgments, they have not known them. So the Most High is only dealing with Israel, man. That's why Christians can't get it. You know, that's why if you go to a church, you ask a pastor, can you break down Revelation? Nah, the vision is sealed. That's what they'll tell you, man. The vision is sealed. Well, it's sealed to them. It's open to us, man. That's how you know they don't got the truth, man. If the vision is sealed to you, why should I listen to you? You know?
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord, the Most High, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
That's right. So before the Most High does anything, he tells his prophets about it, man. During the flood, he told Noah about it. You know, before he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he told Abraham, and the angel told Lot about it. So the Most High, he's not unjust, man. Just like a judge. The judge ain't just gonna give you, life, and not tell you why you're getting it for. You know, he's gonna let you know, well, for this charge, you're gonna get this amount of time. For that charge, you're gonna get this amount of time. You know, and then lay the hammer down, and now you're serving your sentence. So that's what the prophets do. You know,
Jonah will Nineveh.
Yeah, yep. That's right, yep.
You had Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. He had to break down the vision.
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar went to his astrologers, the wise men, you know, of that region, and they couldn't break down his vision. But the Lord revealed it to Daniel to break down the vision that Nebuchadnezzar had. That's called a dream.
Back in the days, they had dream books. After the showing that years ago, they had dream books, like even in ancient Egypt. Where if you had a dream about this meant that. If you had a dream about that meant this. So Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and these are the things that he saw, and he goes to his wizards, well, they got to go into the dream book to see what all of these dreams mean. Well, okay, this dream says a dream about water, that means this. A dream about that means this. So what they were seeing, they couldn't break it down. So what you saw in the dream was what you could find in that book. Plus, they had type in Venus tablets real fast. Real fast. Get right back to it. I brought this out before to the spirit. We actually call the Venus tablets of the Misaduka.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says the Venus tablets of Aminisaduka are a series of ancient Babylonian cuneiform tablets that record the rising and setting of the planet Venus
Because
over.
Venus is one planet that you can actually see when it rises. Okay?
Right. It reads that record the rising and setting of the planet Venus over a period of years. These tablets are among the earliest known astronomical records in human history, dating back to the 17th century. It says, let me see.
17th century, that's 1700 something.
Yeah, 17th. Yeah.
Now, what did it say about the Venus tablets in the very beginning? You ready?
It says, the Venus tablets of Aminisaduka are a series of ancient Babylonian cuneiform tablets that record the rising and setting of the planet Venus over a period of years.
In the ancient world, they had these tablets. They would tell you different motions of the planets, stars, so on and so forth. What you got?
Yep, it says astronomy meets astrology. It says in ancient Mesopotamian culture, celestial bodies were believed to be gods or messengers of the gods. Venus was associated with the goddess of Ishtar, goddess of law, war, fertility. Yeah, that's pretty hard.
So in the ancient world, when they saw a shooting star, they thought that was a message from a god, because the stars going from one place to the next. You look at them like it's a faraway message coming from wherever the god is, so to speak, to where we are from the sea. So a red moon was a sign of war. So they would see different things, and you know all the so-called signs and all of that. All the so-called signs like Capricorn, all this shit. Those are star constellations. And there's one that stuff in the ancient world. And what they used to do is, and much as brother said, when astronomy meets astrology, right? Because astronomy is the study of the heavens. Astrology is the study in which you believe the bodies of heaven have on human life. That's the difference. One is the study of the celestial bodies. The other one is the belief that you have, that you believe, is the belief in which you feel the celestial bodies affect us. Oh, so if you're Capricorn, we get in the morning, so and so. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, exactly. Horoscopes will do this, they attribute those things unto those gods. Right?
Yeah, now, like you mentioned, the dream books. I Googled what are the dream books in ancient biblical times. It says in biblical times, especially in the culture surrounding and sometimes influencing Israel, like Egypt, Babylon, and Assyria, dream books.
Babylon,
It says dream books were manuals used to interpret dreams, often by priests, magicians, or astrologers. While Israelites were told to avoid pagan methods of dream interpretation, these dream books were common in the ancient Near East and offer historical insight into how other cultures view dreams. It says dream books were a collection of dream interpretations organized by themes or symbols. They might read something like, if a man dreams he sees a lion, it means he will become powerful. If he dreams of falling from a roof, it means his downfall is near. Yeah.
And that's why Joseph was so represent Egypt. Because he broke it down without that shit. Stop reading that damn book. The Most High is on my side. He was breaking how much on my side. He was breaking down the dreams. So he said, yo, man, it's a great dude. And he put up second in Pharaoh's kingdom. I think the second ranked guy is called the Vizier. Vizier. So he got a high rank because of that. So he broke it down. I don't need no dream book, man. And this spirit of the Most High is on to interpret it. You don't use that. If brother had a dream about something, because in a dream, I knew about dream book. You don't do that. Oh, you know what, bro? That could mean so and so and so. Boom. And it's spiritual.
That was it.
That's all? They did Romans 15, that's why it was written a 4 times.
Let me get it?
Yeah.
Con, this is Romans chapter 15. Yep. Verse 4. It reads, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that through patience and comfort of these scriptures might have hope.
That's right. That's why it was written aforetime was for our learning, man.
Yeah.
All these things that's written about is not no fairy tales, man. We ain't supposed to read the Bible like it's a story. It's like you read Genesis, it's just a story. No, this is history, right? These things are factual, man. And you know, the history is set up so that we can learn from it, man. You know, what the saying goes, those who don't learn from history are bound to repeat it, right? So, you know, whatsoever was written aforetime was written for our learning, man. You know, we see our forefathers, the different situations that they were in, how they maneuvered in those situations. So that's you know, example to us, man.
Yeah, like,
you know?
like a great example, you know, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. You know, they refused to, you know, worship that Babylonian god or that statue, and they were thrown in the furnace of the fire. And then, what was the end result? They didn't get burned up. Yahushua was with them because they had that strong faith. And that's like a comfort into our spirit because when Jacob's trouble occurs and tribulation and chaos occurs, we're going to remember these scriptures that the Lord, that we read, that we taught. We're going to remember that. Like, yo, man, Daniel was in the lion's den. He had an angel shut the lion's mouth. Ultimately, meaning what? The Lord's servants is going to be good, man. As long as we endure and hold fast to this word and suffer with Yahushua. You know, that's why we always got to read these scriptures because in the times of tribulation, you never know, you might have your family with you. And you breaking down, you comfort them through the scriptures. Like, nah, remember what the scriptures say? Say this. And say that. You know?
That's how we know Jacob's trouble ain't gonna be no cakewalk, right? You know, you got camps that try to avoid it, try to say Jacob's trouble, we already went through Jacob's trouble is gay and all of that. Well, you're not learning from history. It's gay. Yeah, ISUBK said that. Captain Tazaria, Jacob's trouble is gay. Right? Well, you gotta learn it from history. Because any time in history, Israel always went through tribulation. Whatever a society they was under, they went through tribulation. Look at the time of the Greeks, man. Right? We still in captivity. We are yet to stay in our captivity. So how can you say we're not gonna have no Jacob's trouble? You know? We're just fear-mongering. We're being negative. That's what Jake says, man. So what do you tell the Most High, man? Because this is not us making it up. It's in the scriptures. You know?
That's what I'm going to say. Because the blueprint, which is the Bible, that's what's navigating us through this situation. Jacob's trouble didn't happen yet. So what you see is the beginning of Jacob's trouble. What they doing to the Hispanics? They put them in concentration camps. And they holding them there. They're not deporting them. You notice that this time around, they're not deporting nobody nowhere. Oh, they send them into what is that? The alligator. What is that? Alligator. Alcatraz. They put them there for a reason. They're gonna be trying to see him. You want to come back to society? You gotta take the see him. This is all right. I got a precept for you.
They're probably fucking shoving them chips in them right now.
And that's why we need the scriptures. Isaiah 34 verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
The scriptures, man.
That's right.
Right.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. You're not going to want no other doctrine. No.
You can't compete with the word.
Oh yeah, it's like yeah. You're not going to compete with the word.
You can't compare.
Yeah, you can't compare.
You can't unify them.
Yeah.
Make the Bible no other form of no other philosophy.
Yeah, no other. That's what I wanted to say. Philosophy.
So far like accuracy.
Yeah. Because the scriptures is accurate. It's supported.
There's certain things we can say, well, see, look, that even proves this historical document.
Yeah.
But we don't look at that to validate the scriptures.
Yeah.
You know?
And we use the scripture to filter out all the mess.
We use the Bible as a filtration system. So when it says none shall want her mate, you can't put any book up against the validity of the Bible. Because you, like the elder brother said, you have books that detail history, which is accurate. But the Bible details history completely, 100%. So there's no book in the world that you can compare up to the
because it tells you about all the other nations, the Romans, the Babylonians, the Assyrians,
and prophecy.
And prophecy.
That's why I say yes. That's why I say none shall fail.
None shall fail. Yeah.
Prophecy.
Not gonna fail. Yeah. Right. And that's why when you try to mate it with other books, like the book of Enoch, All them other books, Book of Jasher, it don't make sense. Or the Book of Mormon, the prophecies don't line up. You know, and the prophecy in the Enoch says this, but that don't match that other verse. So that's how you know it's not part of the scriptures. None shall want her mate.
Right. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit it has gathered them.
Yeah, so it's the Most High that commanded, man. Yeah. And his spirit gathered them, right? It's not our own thing. We ain't choose. Moses ain't just choose to, I'm an Israelite today.
Yeah.
You know, just wake up, whatever he was doing, he just dropped it all and you just become a Hebrew Israelite. No, man. You know, but brothers was into all kinds of other shit, man. Yeah. You know, some brothers was into, gangbanging lifestyle. You know, some brothers was, into college, getting their degrees. Some brothers was, trying to be rappers or whatever, man. Yeah. Whatever lifestyle you was into, you ain't choose to wake up on your own, man. Yeah. How about I put the spirit on you, man?
Yeah, the Bible is the only book that details migration patterns between people. It's the only book that speaks about prophecy. You can't open up the Quran and find prophecy in it. I was arguing with a Muslim dude, and I was like, what prophecy? Oh, well, they start fumbling at the mouth. Yeah. The Bible is the only book you can go in and say, well, in the future to come, something's going to happen. The other book, you can't do that. You can't go trail patterns. They don't detail history, historical records, kingdoms. Ain't none of that spoken about. And then, on top of that, archaeologists go inside the Bible, like Oxford, all these like scholars, they go and research. They go to these land masses and they find relics of these events that took place.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, so you can't compare anything up to the Bible. To this day, the Bible is the most owned book in everybody's household. The Bible is the most studied. Matter of fact, there's research, is government funding to find out if the Bible is still true. So every other year you find different things.
Matter of fact, we got a petition that's signed by over 1,000 scientists around the world that basically reject evolution, the Big Bang Theory, and say that what the Bible says matches what they actually visually observe. Because you can't just say something evolved out. How do we evolve out of monkeys? That don't make no fucking sense. We don't see them doing it today.
You know what they say now? They say, we ain't saying y'all evolved from monkey. We say man and ape has a common ancestor. And basically it was like a fork and we went different ways. Like you got this, and then the ape went over here and man went over here. Get the fuck out of here, man.
And we the closest to their ancestor, right? We're the closest to that ape monkey. That's what he saw. You got something to say?
Yeah, one thing they researched is when Moses split the sea, or the Gulf of how was it? Suez, yeah. Right. They found like the chariots at the bottom of the waters.
It's gonna bring that out too. Pharaoh's chariot wheel, and it was curled in coral reef, and they said that it was gold. It was gold plated over wood, and that's what Pharaoh used his chariot wheel to use to go and capture the Israelites.
And it's all kinds of stuff I'm looking up. There are all kinds of type in what was it called? The something made.
What does it do?
Type in like evolution hoax. H-O-A-X. Evolution hoax. The Nebraska man. That's what's good. Type in the Nebraska man. The Nebraska man. Whoever gets
it says Nebraska man was a name applied to Hess Perry Perot
I got the story of the Nebraska man revolves around a single fossil tooth and its dramatic rise and fall in the 20th century paleontology.
Paleontology?
Yeah.
Paleontology, yeah. Paleoanthropology.
Let me see. Many scientists remained dubious early on, citing the poor preservation of the tooth.
So basically, the Nebraska man was a fossil that they found that had like a denty pattern of like a human like ape-like pattern.
Yeah.
I feel like the upper jaw and the lower jaw, something along the lines. But when they found out, when they looked at it, they realized it was a hoax, it was a bullshit. You asked some so-called researchers, that's clear they found it, but they actually the one that came up with the whole hoax. Oh look, we found a missing link. Remember, everybody wanted to be the one that said, look, we found something historical. You got something?
No, I was just reading basically.
Everybody wanted to be the one to say, oh look, we found something historical.
Like the Lucy shit.
Yeah.
Lucy, they claim that's our first woman, the mother of us all shit. And how she was the first ape human. But then when you go into it, it was an ape skeletons they found. She wasn't even a human. You know, when you go into, Esau science, if Esau says we come from monkeys, according to, other Edomites, that's supposed to be transitional fossils, showing us the transition from ape to human. It's not only apes and humans. You don't see something in between. That shows you we don't have no common ancestry.
Exactly.
And they say, oh yeah, we share 97% of DNA. But guess what? That little 3% in DNA is a lot, man. It deals with a whole lot. You change 0.1% DNA, you a whole different species.
A person can have one less chromosome and be all jacked up. You fucking stupid ass, dumbass, stupid ass crackers. What the fuck wrong with you stupid MFers, man? 97, you got 97%. Even if it was 97%, that's similar. That 3% matters a lot. That could do with bone length, bone structure, head shape, your ability to speak, your ability to grow hair.
Wings.
All of that. Stupid ass dummies. The hell with you goddamn crackers, man, making shit up. You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau does. It's pride. Where's the transitional phase at, bro? Let me guess. It was ape, and then it was like, like I see I'm right here in the camera right now. It's like ape. Don't put a camera.
Oh, sorry.
It's like ape. Human. Like nothing happened in between. I didn't grow no bigger. There was no like lengthening of the arms. Nothing. Your face just stayed. Your face ain't steady like a fucking ape. You was an ape 1 second. I'm a human now. Just like that. Like get out of here. Does that make sense, brother? No. It's like put the camera on me. They put the camera on him real fast. That's how it happened. Nothing in between. I just turned into you. Does that make sense, brother? Come on, man. Even a caterpillar gotta go into the cocoon to become a butterfly.
You gotta change. You don't got no proof of that, man. That's why it's still known as a theory. It's not a fact. It's nigga just freestyling, making it, trying to find out how it happened, man. And he just, you look at those movies, documentaries, they always make it seem like it's facts. It's just one organism that became a fish. Then the fish became a whale. Then the whale became a wolf. Then the wolf became an ape. Then the ape became a man. Like it's an actual fact.
Real quick. Genesis 1:24, and the Most High said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind, and so it was.
Bring it down, close it up.
So pretty much, man, like the Most High made every creature after its own kind. So there was never no mix.
With that,
we'll give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, and Chakadash.
Double honors to the apostles of GMS and salutations to all the documents of this world.